recording. Okay, so I'm just going to go through how I have been doing these back tests. Probably try and cruise through a month or something here. So this is the 17th. So this will be the last day of this contract that I'll do. Do I have 17th done on here? This is IDR. Oh, I actually just moved to this contract. That's why. This should be, yeah. Let's change these to pink so that they're done over here. Okay, so I've done the 17th. So we are on to the 19th, 20th actually. Oops. So this is going to be Monday, ADR. And that's a confirmation. So like obviously I go to the next one just to print the lines because it's whatever. And then all I do is if we pull this over here, actually you guys can pull up your own lens. So I've been doing the markup a little bit different. So the median time is 21:27, so I just round up to 21:30. I go 0 to 0:1 is like sticking out, so I go to 21:30. Is that what I said? Yeah, 21:30. And then 02 to 03. And then it is drop off, but like I put 06 to 1. Even though they're shorter, it's like a cluster. So I'm looking for like a key, like something like key in there. And then I just go candle to candle. So our extension is 2. So as long as it doesn't go to 2 or clear the highs before it comes down, I'm interested. And nothing here. So just go on to the next day. Goes straight to 2 though, which is funny. But there's nothing. Like you could argue, like I know what's his name. He would take this. I'm trying to think of his name. He's got like a Spanish name, but this would be like a quick retracement and then go. I don't know if you do it for ADR, but he does it for RDR for time and price, especially when the window for retracement is so shallow. But no, like Santi, he would just take this. Like he'd be like he'd see this retracement in this cluster. He would, yeah, like he would just go like this. I don't know, like that, like he would do something like that with time and price. When he saw like this, I would well, you'll see what I do here. So like, yeah, I just wouldn't. There's no trade for me personally here because I'm trying to not add my own. This is way too late for confirmation. I'm trying to not add my own discrepancies to it. It's just like I want to see what I want to see. Okay, so we got 10:30 short RDR on a Monday. So same thing here. So because this is a wick confirmation, I either need to see the retracement between 10:30 and 11 with a confirmation candle before 11 ends, or I'm just not taking this trade unless the confirmation happens between 11 and 11:15. And I'll show you what I mean as we go here. So I'm not going to mark up 02 to 0. Oh, and I have my lens set to 20. Yeah, but I've done this so much now that I just use the month. So it's before date February 23 and the end of February because that's what we're in. So I just know that like the data is close enough that I'm okay with it. So 0.2 to 0.1 I would have in there. 0.1 to 0.3. So I'm just going to put on my fib. 0.1 to 0.3, and drop off, or median is 12.10. So I'm going to go like this. 12.10. 0.1 to 0.3. I've got the wrong 0.1 in here. 0.4 to 0.6. And 0.7 to, I would, because this includes 1.1, I'd do 0.7 to 1.1. And I'm not looking for the retirement setup, but because it's within the DR IDR, I'm just including this. I wouldn't include the 1.2 or anything behind that because it's outside, so it's not conclusive. And I don't use HOS LOS anymore because I'm looking for a reason to enter. I'm not looking for, like, the problem with HOS LOS, in my opinion, is this would be a prime example that works out. So I guarantee you HOS LOS probably said that 0 to 0.1 is like the mode retracement before this extension for HOS LOS. The problem with that is you're triggering an entry. Like, you're adding your own choice to add an entry there when there's no real reason, without like a directional imbalance or something like that. So can it work? Sure. If you test that and you're comfortable with winning or losing based on that, that's fine. I'm just not, because it's not giving me. Well, it'd be Monday ADR true long. First bucket, yeah. Oh, okay. So in this case, it wouldn't matter. But like, you get what I'm saying, right? Like, in a case where. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, like, my rationale is, I fair, fair enough. But for me, HOS LOS is, I'm at, like, anytime it comes into that zone and I see like any kind of rejection, I'm just entering a trade. And to me, that's not conducive to a mechanical system, because I'm triggering based on knowing that that's a high probability, not based on what I'm seeing for what's actually happening. And you'll see as I go through like why. So here, yeah, just because the HOS LOS says that this is the most common, doesn't always mean that it's just going to go to target, right? So like, if I'm not seeing a directional imbalance directly after that candle, or a VIB, or a cluster of some, like, if I'm not seeing something that like is saying, hey, this is a key rejection area, it's fine to take a trade here, I'm just not taking the trade, and I'm fine missing the trade if it does something like this. Because yeah, like, there's this VIB, there's these VIBs down here, there's more clusters. Like, so say this was the mode, it's like, am I going to miss some of these trades? Sure. But like, I want it to be as mechanical as possible. And me adding the justification that HOS LOS says that this is the most common for a true day, that's just adding my rationale behind it. Because just because it's the most common, like, if you're looking at this day as an example, so it says that 0.1 to 0.2 outside of the IDR is the most common. So it'd be like right here. So in this case, I'm going to take this trade because it has a directional imbalance. But say it didn't and it just closed here. then I don't want to enter a trade here just because of HOS LOS. Because there's all this other price action, there's all these other volume imbalances, there's the cluster here. I want to enter because I'm seeing a rejection of a reason, not because 20 out of 100 times it does what HOS LOS says, because that still means 80 times it doesn't, right? So it's like, to me, I don't want to take 2 trades in a day anymore and like potentially win one big one or lose one and then take a better setup. I just want to take the optimal setup every day.
So do you consider cost loss after a certain percentage of cost loss retracements expire? Say like 50%, for example. Say like median
Nope,
cost loss.
I just don't care anymore. I understand that it can be useful, and like you can do your own testing to like verify like what you want. But the testing that I've been doing, I'm just using the retracements. Like, so as an example, so Haas loss here basically drops off 0.5 to 0.6. This is like, if you're looking at today, like past that, it's like it never is a true day. Well, if you look at it, it lines up with, like, if it comes through all of this, like, we obviously know we're probably having a false day anyways, right? We've got all these VIBs, we have the DR clusters, like, so it's like, it, like, to me, there's just no benefit of it. I want to see the rejections from this area and then take the trade instead of just using a pinpoint of drop off data. Because I want it to be mechanical. Like, I don't want to be justifying why I'm taking a trade and then have to re-justify why I'm taking a second trade if that loses. I just want to take what looks like the most optimal entry based on what I'm seeing price do based on retracement clusters, and I just want to win or lose that trade. But that's me personally. You can do whatever you want, right? So like here, as I was saying like earlier, because this has a directional imbalance, right after the wick confirmation, my testing has said that this is like a fine trade to take. Now, we're at a 1.5 extension on this one. I would want to be behind this VIB at the minimum. 3.6 isn't what I'm after, so I'm going here and I'm just putting a pending. And if I miss it, I'm not too stressed out about it. So this one I miss, which is quite unfortunate. But what I plan to do, so all these markups I'm saving, and I'm not doing.
Swing targets, like what did you say earlier? 5R
Yeah,
for this specific one, like this setup,
for
or
anything.
in general, if you're just
For anything. Oh no, sorry, I did say that. So when there's a VIB, I'm not adjusting. Right, I have my rules over to the side here, because I'm assuming that it's running to target. The only time I put, so I'm always just market executing. So what I would do is I would know that 77.34 is where my stop loss is. So I would have the trade panel open, with my percentage risk, and I would already have, like, so when this finishes and this confirms, or I see this wick down here and like whatever, I'm like, okay, where would my stop be? And it would be 77.34. So I would have my stop loss set. I would have my percentage risk that I'm willing to risk on this trade, or one contract set, or whatever. And as soon as I see this volume imbalance on the open, I'm just market executing. So like, then it's just like the brain game part of it's done. So this one was a,
would be like plus or minus like 2/10 of an R based on how the market order goes.
yeah, exactly. Like that's whatever, right? I'm just like, okay, we're in, and it's going to target, or it's going to 2R coming back, like whatever. Okay, so this one was a wick confirmation at 10:30. So this one's fine. That one's pretty straightforward. So, and this is, okay, so this is why I do this. So now, and this is why I use the median time, because this is just what I see all the time. And like, if this didn't happen and I didn't see a retracement into this cluster, so say the VIB didn't happen. I'm looking for it to like come out, retrace a bit, and then come back. That would be my trade. Here, median time is over. If this volume imbalance didn't happen, I don't take a trade here today, because this would suck me in. I'd be like, okay, well, it retraced after the median time. And like, look at this. This could run to target, but where are you taking this trade? Right? Like,
obviously you're filtering out based on median time, but you filter out also like targets are hit before you find them.
oh, yeah. Like, yeah. So let's pretend target wasn't it. Like we hit 1.2 or something. Like that. I'm just using the example of like some people right here, myself included, when this rejected off this VIB and this closed here, I'd be like, okay, I could probably enter a trade. Oh, why did I do that? I could probably enter a trade here. Stop. We didn't go here, so we'd use this as the AMR. This makes sense. We get a 4.6R and we lose this trade instantly. So I just don't, like, I'm over it. Like, my backtesting has shown me that it's just not worth it. And I kind of got that from Santi. He doesn't take a trade after the median time ever for time and price. So like here, yeah, like you're like looking for a reason to enter trade, hoping that it makes a new low. It's stupid. Yeah, 100%. So, we went 2 candles ahead, but that's fine. So we're going to use, so here I would have 0 to 0.1.
And I think like that rule is actually even better when the retracement time is literally like in the middle of the retracement chart, like time-wise, where it's not squished to the left.
Yeah, I don't even look at any of that stuff anymore. I don't care about extension time or retracement time. I don't care about any of that. All I care about is it hitting my clusters before drop-off time. If it is, I'm taking a trade. If it isn't, I don't care. Mechanical, right? Like, I don't want to be looking at all the data anymore. I've spent the last 4 months hyper analyzing and trying to figure out a solution to like get the most optimal stuff. And then I just run time and price, and it's like, oh, this is already optimal. like that's like, it sounds so stupid, but like that's just the answer that I've come to. So here I wouldn't enter on this candle because it was an up candle. We rejected from here. This looks like it wants to come down. It closed to the tick on this VIB, so I would go to the next candle, and we get the rejection here outside of the DR. So to me, this is validated. It rejected the cluster. It's respecting the VIB. So then I'm just going to go short here. Our extension is 2 on this day, and we're going to be 1 tick above the cluster, because it could still come. Don't care. So yeah, so that's why I separate them. So like, I have all the primary clusters that are like above, and I basically use that as separation. So like in my head, if it hit the 0.1 to 0.2 cluster, and then there's a drop off, and then there's the 0.3, 0.4 cluster, if if it's respecting this and the Vib, I don't want my stop up here. I basically don't want it to come above this cluster if it's going to be a true day. And right here, I would almost be break even. Let's see, one more candle. 1.92, I'm going break even there. Like, that's just close enough. So then I just play out the day. And we hit target. Oops. Yeah, see, and then, but this is what I mean though, right? So as this is coming down, we've got the Vib, the cluster, the Vib, more Vibs, cluster, like I don't know where it's stopping. I don't even care. Are you running it to target or you're not? There's 4.5R. Smashed out of the park. And all I did was look for a reason to enter before median time was over. That's it. And we had a 2030 confirmation candle. So then look at that. Look, it reversed in the ODR. Go figure. Okay, so now we get another confirmation at 4 o'clock for ODR on a Tuesday, which is what I have set, true, short. And then just same thing. So we go Viv, or here. Yeah, so like, and this is where it's like, okay, so if I'm doing ICT stuff, it's like this right here is an order block in a higher time frame. So we just had the rejection. This technically is pricing down. So it's like you could enter here somewhere, but why? Like I just don't care. Like, fuck ICT. Fuck your shit. I don't want to even think about that stuff. Like, and I see it. Like, trust me. I'm like, but how many times here? So here's an example. Okay, so here. So, oh no, that's not box forming. Let's go. This is box forming, but that's too far back. Same here. We need. I know there's one that literally happened. No. So okay, so here's an example. So like, we know that like on a higher time frame, so this is like a key area, and it rejects and starts moving up. So it's like, okay, yeah, it didn't mitigate this, but that could just be like whatever. So like, so where are you putting your take profit here? Before this, and it literally reverses in 2 candles once it hits the top, and wicks you out. And then what? You're like, okay, is it going up? Is it going? Like, I just don't care about this stuff anymore. It like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You mean right here? No, I don't care. It means nothing to me. Um, I I I I tried to make it mean something. It means nothing. Yeah, like I was just like, okay, what would happen if I entered here? And it's like, it literally means nothing. At least in anything that I found, because the thought did cross my mind. I'm like, oh well, if this matters, then why can't that matter? So 515. 04 to 05. February. Oh, and then I would put 07 to 09 in. And then our extension's 2.3. So now I'm just looking for a reason to go in, no div. So don't care that it happened on the second one. Don't care, don't care, don't care. This could just run the target. Okay, so we rejected an area. Now we came up. Now we came up. Now we have volume imbalance to the wrong side. Came up again. And now we're at the end of our time. So here, I would definitely take this trade because we didn't have a candle closure above here. And all I would do is I would put my stop above even here because I know we're still going to get, what did I say, 2.3? So 12R, if it goes, sweet. If not, not a big deal. There we go. We lost this trade. Yeah, you're basically like, yeah, and it's like if it runs, like we just nailed a monster. If it doesn't, well, that's my bullet for the day. And I only entered because of how this candle closed. If it would have even closing above this wick, I wouldn't have taken it. But it rejected the trampoline. It closed basically inside of the cluster. So it's like, you know what? This is worth taking a shot. Confirmation time was 4 o'clock. And that's funny. Okay, so let's go here. We got RDR. So, and then this is just like where you can argue, like you could just talk stuff all day, right? It's like, okay, well, we could do a grandma stop to the weekly DR and assume that it is going to reject here and go down or go through. And it's like, but like, why add all these like arguments? Like, why, like take your trade based on what you think is real, and or back test a very specific scenario. So we've got a 10:30 short RDR Tuesday. Like this. Yeah, like when I say I just want this to be as mechanical as humanly possible, that's literally all I'm looking for. Like I don't care about any of this stuff anymore. I know that time and price is profitable. So how do I make it? How do I automate profitability? That's literally where my head's at. So 0.1 to 0.3 and 11.50. And then I would do 5 to 7. And don't really care about 9 to 1, but we'll put it on there because it is higher than the rest of the remaining. Oops. Oh, we don't need that. And then our extension is 1.5. So because, oh, it's only 10:45. Yeah, so I wouldn't enter here because none of this is actually confirmed. Like if one of these candles would have confirmed and I saw the third rejection, I would enter. But there's no, like we haven't actually had a true confirmation yet. And now none of this is valid. And I would wait till, so this is 11:15 close, so I'm not even entering a trade here. Don't care what it does. Day's over for me. Weird. Did nothing. Oh, I keep forgetting that I'm doing ADR now. Like I just want to play. So ADR is 21:15 for max time for confirmation. So we got this here. So I would have entered here because this is a directional imbalance. And this is what I was talking about in my student stage too, is like people lie to themselves about like how they do stuff. so like I know that this is about to retrace. But I saw that because I skipped ahead, right? So like I know this is retracing, but my rule is on the directional imbalance. I enter. So I don't care where it's going to go. I'm going to mark up ADR Wednesday true short 04 to 05. And what time? 21:50.
And you enter right away on that.
100%. So like when I see this, here I'll show you what I would do here. So 21, so 06 to 08. And 9 to 1.
Why is the dip your entry point?
Because directional imbalances directly after confirmation generally run to target in the testing that I've done. And even if
Do you have any stop? Do you change the way you view the stop for those trades, or is it the same as every other trade?
same as every other trade for the most part. So like this here, so this directional balance opens. My stop, I'm already like looking. I'm like, okay, so most of the time it's retracing all the way up to here. So I would be putting my stop up here. Actually, no, I would put it right here. I put it above the limiter. And then 1.7 is like right here. So we can't get that. We're looking for that 5R. So this would tag us in. And we're out. So because this was a directional imbalance trade, now I'm willing to wait for the time to go, and I would take a second trade here. And then we get a false stay. See, I didn't even notice that when I was fast forwarding it. And then, like, you can argue this is something I do want to go test. Because this was a directional imbalance and a fake true day, could you take the false day? It's not actually a false day, like, right? Like, we never actually got a real confirmation for a false day. So it's like, is this valid? And I want to go back, and that's something I got to back test. 2045. Yeah, because this was just a wick, and this directionally balanced. Like, so there was no actual true confirmation for a false day. That's right. Well, it did. Or yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, and now this looks like, so if we go to a true long day, 1.9 would be the extension, and it doesn't go. So in this example, obviously it doesn't work. But then, yeah, that's rough.
This is ADR, right?
That was ADR, yeah. So this is ODR Wednesday. So let's take this candle by candle. 4 o'clock's right here. Okay, so we get a true short. So we're looking for 02 to 03. I'm just going to go to the next candle. So 02 to 03. I just go to the next candle because, like, in real time, like, you would get the information. 5 o'clock. So this is a short day. Another reason I like median time is because, like, if I don't get what I want to see here by, like, I don't have to sit here all day. Like, I'm just like, the session's over. 02 to 04. Why did I say 02 to 03? 02 to 04. 08 to 09. And then, so in this case, because the DR is large, I would put in the 1.1 to 1.2. It's going to be like this somewhere. Because this could be, like, still be a true day based on where the DR is. So we're waiting. We got the tick, but then we made a new high, but we got rejected here. So now we're through. We got the directional imbalance on the open, so we're not interested in that regardless. This candle is way too big for me to be interested. Don't care about the directional imbalance. And looks like we're over for the day. 2.2. So like there are arguments like when this takes and then gets retaken. So you could enter here with like a stop here instead of up here, assuming that it's not coming back up here. Like there's lots of stuff that I've been like playing with, because the whole idea is like once this starts running to target, it's not re-entering here, right? So like stuff that I want to play with is like I wouldn't want this to come back up here and two, but yeah, I need a 5R to do it, one like that. So that wouldn't well, actually you would get it because this would trigger you in, and then you'd be break even like down here somewhere. So it's like you can play with stuff to make stuff more appealing, but doesn't give me what I'm looking for, and then obviously false stay. So no trade there for me. Weekly DR rejection.
And had you taken that, you would have been BE, is what I understand. Or
That's right.
okay.
Yeah, because as soon as it went to 2R, I'm break even, right? So like there's no real loss there. And like, so we can see that this is clearly pricing down, like lower high, lower high, lower low. So it's like you could enter here understanding that it's probably going lower. You would want to be obviously above here for your stop, because that's the most likely place for a candle to come back and then keep going down. But it's like you have to, if this candle was smaller and then it had the directional imbalance, I probably would have entered that, because then I'm like, it's like, okay, we got the directional imbalance, we made a lower low, we're like here, my stop can be here, and we're going to like a 2. So I like, that's a beautiful trade, and I'm understanding that it's probably going to be a true day, and I'm entering based on time and price, assuming that price is not coming back here and we don't have a false day. But you'll see as we just kind of keep going here, it's all just as mechanical as possible, assuming direction. So 10:30 short, man, this is a lot of shorts. Like, have we had a long day since we've been on here? 10:30 Wednesday, true long RDR, true short rather. Oh, these are my favorites. So like this. So 0, 1 to 0 is massive before 11:05. I love these because they're like short days. 11:05 is like median. So if I don't get what I want to see by here, like I'm done for the day. 0, 1 to 0, 2 and 0, 6 to 1. That's why I said it's my favorite, because I know that Wednesday short days are really quick confirmations or the day is over. So what's our extension? 3. This is one of those times where, and I'm not going to put it on now, but when I saw this 4th close to the tick on this special, I actually would have entered here. It's like, we're clearly not going up. I would have put my stop here, only because the extension's so big. So like, I know we're going down here. So it's a 7-hour trade, but I didn't put it on, so I'm not going to count it as a back test. And we'd be break even on that trade, and you'd be closing right here. So, oh, huge profit. So like, so this is the stuff I'm looking for, time and price, right? Now it didn't come up to here, which is a big cluster, but 0.4 to 0.5 is a cluster outside, and it's actually an even bigger cluster. It's basically like 0.7 to 0.2 after 0.5 is reached is like huge. So when I see 1, 2, 3, the fourth rejection, even though this was an up candle, because it rejected to the tick of the limiter, like I would take that trade right there. Like if I was trading live, I wouldn't even think about it. Because the retracement time is like over. Like there's 10 more minutes of retracement time, and if it retraces after this time, so like we're on this candle, there's 10 more minutes basically. So after this, if it's retracing, it's probably like it's just destroying something up here. Like we should be done our retracements by this time. So I would have taken that, but that's okay. Didn't take it, not adding it to my metrics. And I didn't take it because I'm like talking and trying to go through quicker. So 2040, so ADR on a Thursday. True long. So I'm just going to go to the next candle to get our things. So 0.3 to 0 is actually very common. And there's a volume imbalance here, so I would be entering this one. 11:40 is our drop-off time. Oh, wait. What am I doing here? I'm on RDR. 21:45. And this isn't right. So 0 to 0.1. And then 0.1 to 0.4. I wish there was ways to save everything in lens and it just propped for the day, like based on what you wanted. That'd be sweet. 0.6 to 0.8. And like I know there's a volume or a directional imbalance here, but I always just put everything on so that I can visualize. And then we're going to a 1.9, so we would go like this, like this. In this case, I would literally just put it one tick below here, so it's between these two drop-offs. And this is going to 1.9, which is up here. So we lose that trade. So then we would enter here. One tick below here. Still get a 3.2. I want to be at a 5. I don't really want to be below this though. So if we were doing new highs, yeah. So we would actually do the 5. That's what we do. Now, because this didn't enter before the meeting time, I would just close this. So this wouldn't be a trade. I would enter basically hoping that this candle wicked me in. And I wouldn't enter because of the directional imbalance here. So -1 on this one. Confirmation time is 2040. It's always funny to watch after ADR how the ODR reacts, because like you can even argue a lot of times like what just happened here. You could literally have a pending trade at the 50 of the ADR with a stop below the DR, and you could go for where the ADR high was supposed to be, and it definitely hits way more often than not. But again, that's something you'd have to backtest. So this here, And same with the, so one thing that I don't do is, or that I do, I mean, is in all my back testing that I've done for CL, if, and I haven't, it's not conclusive for ADR, but in ODR, if I have a trade that, like, say the extension's 2 and like it hasn't made me break even or hit target yet, I'm willing to take a break even and hold it through RDR, because it just generally goes to target in RDR. I never close an ODR trade, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's either a win, a loss, or a break even. Nope. Because models are not, no model is more than 80%. So like the DR data itself is justifiable. Right? Like if the model said that 90% chance it was going to be a downside, then sure. But like as an example, I don't know what RDR is going to be here. I can guess and I can take probabilities into account. But no model data is above 80%. So it's like, yeah. Okay, so we got a 420 wick confirmation on ODR Thursday, true short. Yeah, so like if I already know that this should be a trumpet model. Like RDR should be an upside model just based on what I'm seeing right here, right? We already broke the ADR, so like this should be down, and then we should get a range expansion model here. We might take the ODR lows and then go higher, or we could just have like a squeeze higher. So like I understand what it should be, but I just don't account for it, because then it's like I would have to go review every single trade execution that I take and be like, how can I discretionarily decide when it's worth it to close this versus not close it? And I just don't want the discretion. Plus, I don't want to sit here for, like, if I take a trade in the ADR, and let's say I take the trade at, or the ODR, say I take the trade at 5 o'clock. I don't want to sit here for 5 hours being like, should I close the trade? I don't care. I'm either already break even, it's running to target, or I've lost the trade. That's it. No, you're fine. The only session that I close the trade is RDR, because market, like actual close to open, there, like you can have your gaps and your jumps, right? And I just don't want, like, if I ever woke up and I lost 20% of my account because, yeah, like that's just stupidity. Like just go through half your life on black on roulette and do that 10 times. That's right. Whereas ADR to ODR to RDR, that's all fine because there's no market close. So it's just like you're just following whatever price does in that time. That's right. So like an example of, let's go back to this one. I can show you one where, where was it? Here. So like, look at this. So it's like, oh no, this was the RDR. It was down here. There we go. So we had a false day RDR opened into the ODR or ADR. It never came back to my stop loss. Like, look at this. Well, day, you could held this for ever 38 hour. You could have held this for, this is the 7th, 2 days. You're like, okay, but like, where do you close it? Like, what do you 40R? Okay, I'm happy. like, so there's just, or like when you see the rejection here in this tanks, like, so you go from 24R to 16R. Like, do you panic? Do you close it? Like there's just no, like, you're not following the data. You're just gambling now. It's like, where do you stop, right? So I just don't want any. I just want it to run to target or not run to target. I'm
It's liberating. It's very liberating with the way your approach. I gotta say that.
yeah,
There's a lot of entanglements.
exactly. And it's like, I've had the entanglements, man. Like, I've spent the time. It's like, why? It's not necessary. So
Yeah, you don't see any more profit for all the mental anguish.
yeah, exactly. Unless like you find a way to be squeezing like 100+ hour a month, and it's just, but that's not necessary, right? Okay, so here we got 420. We got 0 to 0 1, which I put in there. 0 1 0 2. Yeah, like, why stress yourself out unnecessarily? 0 3 to 0 4. 0 5 to 0 7. And 8 to 1. So here, obviously, there's no, we actually have a directional imbalance like up on the next candle, so we don't enter. We have up again, so we don't enter. This candle, so like at this point, I'm not really interested in anything because we're making higher highs. We're rejecting here. We get the directional down, but then it immediately, or the, it, yeah. So like, I'm not in, like, so we're already pricing up based on this. This doesn't reclaim anything. Yes, we get the directional down, but then it immediately comes up and it closes as a new high. So it's
It's like a ass up based on fibs.
yeah.
It reclaimed the dip is what I was thinking. Sorry.
I'm not interested here because this does nothing. It just closes this price action.
Top half of that candle too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then now we're up. Now our day's over, and like, we've already seen the day. So like, this here, I'm just done with the day, and obviously it ends up being a false day. Stress free. I'm doing whatever I want at 5 o'clock. Whereas like, I could, like, here, like, look at this. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Like, you're for sure entering a short here. You're for, like, there's no, you could not honestly tell me that somebody isn't entering a short here by watching this price action. Like, yeah, yeah, exactly. Tell me I'm wrong, right? There's nobody's watching this. 1 2 3 4 5 7 rejections. Nobody's watching 7 to the tick rejections and not entering a short here somewhere. We're, oh yeah, they're like, exactly. They're like, yeah, you can enter here and here and here and keep entering, and then we're just gonna take all the money. Thanks. Have a good day. Yeah, fuck those guys. They're not taking my money. 11:15, no trades for us. Don't care.
So if it was 11:10, you would, or no?
Yeah, 11:10. If it confirms, I'm in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you said 11:15.
Yeah, no, yeah. I just saw like this 11:15 candle didn't give me confirmation, so I'm just done.
You meant by 11.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought that the confirmation candle was
No, I just miraculously stopped on the 11:15, and then I was like, oh, I don't care. And if this, so like, with that as well, if the 11:15 candle was a wick confirmation, I would enter. It would have to be a candle confirmation. 21.15. We are over. Done. Don't care.
Pretty interesting how nasty it is when it doesn't confirm. It's like just going through this and watching this. If it doesn't confirm by the drop off, you can see how muddy the price action is. And I know days like that is when I get chopped up.
Yeah. So like, why chop yourself up? Like, why take the beating? It's not necessary.
Stress, high stress. You look at my whoop and it's like,
Yeah. So I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, exactly. Like right here, 450. Like it doesn't matter what time. Like here, like back here, like okay, 4:55. That's 2:55 my time. It's like okay, you know what? I'm either gonna go to the gym right now, or I'm just gonna go back to bed, or like whatever. Like I just don't care about the rest of the day. Whatever. Same with here. It's like okay, I decided.
yourself over and over again. Like, what's that to trade? That's nothing to trade.
Yeah, nothing. It's pointless. So
So, what is your? It's just drop off time for each session based on
median time.
the median. All right.
Yeah. If it doesn't happen by the median time, I just don't care. So this
And is it the exact median time? Like, because the median time show, at least in Lens, shows like to the minutes. So,
so if it's 7, I round up to 3.
a bucket?
Yeah, so like if it was 450 or 447, I just do 450. If it was 446, I would do 445.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah, like I'm just rounding because you can't like well you could drop down to the minute chart, I guess, and be discretion like like okay, if I see well actually, so it's really funny that you say that because there was one day.
It's plus or minus like 5 minutes.
Yeah. So there was one day where I was like, I actually, in this like last 3 months worth of backtesting, there was like one example. I was like, what would happen if so the cutoff time happened, and I was like, okay, I'm done. And then I just went back and I'm like, what happened on the 1 minute? And there was literally on that minute, there was a directional imbalance to the side that I wanted to go. And it ran to target. I'm like, ooh, not now I gotta like yeah. And then I was like, no. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
On the 1 minute chart, you push yourself up.
Yeah, I used to trade 30-second charts. I'm so happy. I don't ever go below 5 minutes now. Never.
Yeah, it's stressful. It's like why? So
Well, price action
5:45.
moves the same exact speed, but it does. It's just so much more information to process. All the shapes and everything.
So like days like this, I'm like, fuck, this sucks. So 5:45 is the cutoff. I'm like, oh, I gotta sit here for ever.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm like,
You don't just put a limit order at -0.3 and stop at -0.4 and say, see you later.
see you later. Yeah, no, not happening. 60708 and then 09 to 1.1
And you said you put your body fills at 3 for all of your
at 3.
body fills for your MTF indicators, your dribs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all I have is dribs 3. And then I have 2 drives. One of them is the weekly DR and the cluster set to 3, and then the other one, I just have it set up. I don't even need to. I could literally just use one, and I don't use any of this stuff anymore. Just the testing says I don't need to. So we're going to 1.9 today. So this was a directional imbalance to the upside. We have the actual confirmation of 410. Because this came down here, I would add 0.2 to 0.1 just in case I see something that I like, which I'm not seeing right now. None of this. So we get the directional imbalance, but not liking. Well, this case. So what would happen here? So on this candle, I would wait for this to close. I wouldn't enter because it wasn't right after. but it looked like it wanted to price up and it rejected, and it did create a new body low. Would I enter here? No, I would not. When this opened though, I would. So I would go like this. I would put my stop in this case above the DR, because it's also protected by all these VIBs now. And 1.9 is down here. Nice 6-hour trade. And we lose it, so that's fine. So because we took the trade before, this is also why I don't like when the drop off, when the median time, it's like 2/3 of the day, because it's like you can add discretionary. So I'm not interested, not interested. So on this, we're so 1.9. We got to the tick. So I kind of just started skipping ahead because I was annoyed, but I would probably enter here. So we rejected, tried to price higher, rejected from the special, tried again, and then we got the directional imbalance, also creating a trampoline. So I know I skipped ahead, but I would enter here with my stop above these limiters. So, and then we'd be break even already. Now this is the ADR. So I think that hit target. So 2 trades here. And like pretend you didn't enter here, like you could still enter here and get your 3R, but like I would have 100% entered on this directional imbalance just because of, yeah, exactly. So like,
It's liberating too, like not feeling like I'm always trying to snipe and
yeah, you just like, I'm just looking for the reason. And like here, it's like, okay, our drop off time is done. All of the retracements are done. Like this is basically saying, like when I get this directional imbalance here, this is saying that price is either going to be a true day and it's going to run, or like it's coming back and it's now confirmed false and it's like, whatever, I lost my 2R today. I actually don't think with this approach that I've ever had 2R loss in a day. I've had 2 break evens, I've had a break even and a loss, but I've never actually had a minus 2R day. Like on one session. Because I'm waiting, right? Holy shenanigans. I just took off.
Well, I dropped the video in the chat of where M7 said basically 3 for the fills is all you need.
Oh yeah, I gotta go watch it. I don't watch any of his YouTube stuff anymore because I just feel like I get all the education in the lives. Yeah, so it's just like I don't even think to watch his YouTube stuff. Okay.
I don't know, man. I've never heard him say 3 fills on fucking him before.
No, he hasn't. That's why when you said, "Oh, M7 said that," I'm like processing. I'm like, I don't. And then you're like on his YouTube. I'm like, oh, I don't watch his YouTube. I'm like, it's really funny that.
Don't get me wrong. He may have said it somewhere, and I just haven't gotten to the video yet. But like, I do not know that it exists.
No,
Inside your brain.
no, but that's what I mean. Like he says stuff all the time, right? Like it's kind of like you can granularly analyze everything, or you can just trade time and price, which is what he like. That's all he trades. Like if you go watch like any of the trades that he's taken, other than like the odd model trade that he's been taking lately, like for the Robbins Cup and all that stuff, when he's trading live, he just trades time and price. Like he doesn't he's not trying to do fancy stuff. He explains stuff and like maybe on his personal accounts he does like crazy stuff, but when he's just teaching live, he's like, yeah, this is rejection zone, this is hitting the VIM, this is within the time, we'll take the trade here. Like it's like he's not I think people, including myself, have just like overcomplicated trying to like finesse the system because we know that it's capable of more. But it's like, why? Like why?
You're better off like having time and price be your foundation, and then like hone in on something very specific yet advanced that will provide you like a 5 or 6 hour minimum. Like what Rob was focusing on with all the gaps and shit like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like obviously that was very
Ru-
advanced, but I think his minimum was like 6 R.
yeah, Rob blocked me, so I don't really care. I can't. It's funny. I know he blocked me because, um, like, I can't bookmark anything that he shares. I can see everything, but like I can't like save it. And I was trying to figure out because I can save everything else. I'm like, he had to block me, and he blocked me because he shared something once, and I but then he like wouldn't elaborate on it. So I was like, man, don't share stuff like if you're not gonna elaborate. Like you're like it's like you're playing a game, especially like with new people. And I didn't mean it in like an offensive way. I just meant like you're just like no, like this isn't stuff that M7 teaches. So you're just like adding like conceptual stuff that most people aren't gonna understand. So I was like, I was just trying to be there for like the new people, and then he just like blocked me. I'm like, okay. I personally have nothing against the guy. I think he's doing like great. He's obviously crushing it. So like here, so 11:27 is the retracement time. So I would do 11:30. This is a prime example. 03 to 04. And 05 to 08. Oops. So what do we get here? And 1.6 is our extension. There's no volume. Don't care. This is a nice rejection. This is also a nice rejection. Let's see what happens. So it wants to come lower. So we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4 more candles. Let's wait. What was our extension? 1.6. So if this comes back again, like we might miss this. Yeah, we missed this one. That's okay. It's actually funny. So like this is one of those discretionary things where like I say make it as mechanical as possible, but when this so because like this price action was just like it was within this box the entire time. If I was trading this live because I knew the time was over, I'm not going to put this in my metrics because it just isn't validated. I would put my stop below this cluster and I would actually target the weekly DR. Just because I'm understanding that it's probably a true day. When we get the volume imbalance, we're pricing up. Like it's clearly buy close higher, close lower, then we retake it, rejecting closing lower, take everything above it, and have a body close and then get a directional imbalance. This is a valid like time and price trade in my opinion, but because it's not following my rule set and it's like one off, like this doesn't happen very often. But like when you see it, like I did 449 trades for CL on my like biggest back test. So like there's certain things that I've like I can now see. So this would be considered valid to me, but I'm not going to include it. And like oh, this is RDR. I was going to say if this is ODR in like a case like this, I would just hold this assuming this is going through the weekly DR. Where's our What's going on here? Am I going crazy? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's funny because I know this is so no confirmation, don't care. And this should confirm up, yep. So we get this here. This is a Monday ODR true long. Oh, this is a gross. So what's our, so 510? I like it. I don't like that all the clusters are like smushed, but that's okay. So 0, 1 to 0, 5. And 510. I do like that 510 is our cutoff. And then 0, 6 to 0, 7. So because like, yeah, and then 0, 8 to 1. Never mind. So we got this, and then we'll add in 0 to 0, 1 because we are above that potentially. So here. So was that a, so that was directional balance to the wrong side. Now we get our actual confirmation. And that's at 410, so that's fine. Our extension is 1.8. It's funny because if this ends up being a true day, obviously we know this is going exponentially further through ODR. So directional imbalance. So we get this rejection here. Yeah, so I'm just done for the day. I don't like any of this. Ends up being false day. But how liberating is that? You're like, instead of taking the, like, because if this would have went all the way down here, it's like, okay, I could take a retirement setup as my one bullet, assuming it's going to be a true day still. But like, this is our time. Like, nothing here gave an indication that it wanted to continue up. Our drop off time is 510. So we're just done for the day. And we get smashed if we take that trade. This should be a false day. So like, and this is stuff that, or not a false day, should be a short. It's like, so when you see the in-between session pricing lower, and then you get like the rejection from the weekly DR, and then to the tick rejections from the most recent price action before the box, you could short this, like in theory, but it's like, why? Like, why not just wait for the confirmation and take what it offers? Yeah. And then this obviously was at 1150, so we're over the day anyways. What garbage price action. But then you'd have, see, this is an Ola trade right here. Oh. And we'll just like do like this or something, and well, yeah, look guys. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, so we got a confirmation. So this is going to be Tuesday, ADR, true long. And you just take way less trades with the, like this. Like, it's just like, I'm taking trades when they present themselves. And I'm not when they don't. True long. So we've got 0, 1 to 0, 2. We'll actually just go 0, 2 to 0. What's the time? 21:30. Oh, I love these days. Nice and short. 21:30, and I said to 0, so that's here. And then 01 to 02. So I already don't like this because it just like blew through these. I did hit the limiter though, so that's fine. So like I'm really picky with putting this on. So I'm like, okay, I also want the 03 to 04, and I want the 05 to 06. And I want the 07 to 08. And I want the 09 to 1. And I used to not care. Like I used to only do like the, like so it'd be like the 02 to 01, 01 to 02, 07 to 08, and 09 to 1. But what I've found in my testing is you can use these as like almost like a stop placement. So like here, if I was to take this trade, which obviously I'm not taking right here, but if I was, I would just have my stop before this and below this limiter, knowing that like this is a key point that it should not go into, or it's like potentially pricing down further. So directional balance to that side. So this is nice. Let's see what happens on the next candle. So that's crazy, but it doesn't take this. And then immediately comes back down. So we are potentially pricing up. So I do like to see this. So what's our, so 1.9 today. Let's see what the next candle does. I don't like that. Definitely don't like that. So we get the directional imbalance. Would I take this trade? So we priced lower, but with respect to the DRC, we took the volume imbalance, then we went up. We took that and closed, but then this is like a discretionary candle, so I wouldn't take that. And so we reject the limiter, but we don't. So we're not reclaiming. Yeah, I wouldn't take any of this. That one runs, but because we're bouncing in between these volume imbalances, the limiters, there's really nothing here that I see that I'm like you could argue that when it hits this, that you're taking with a stop, assuming like using AMR and 1.9, but I wouldn't have, so I'm not going to put that in. Oh, no, stop. Oh, perfect, stop, look at that. Okay, so we're in the ODR for Tuesday, true long, 450, nice, my kind of day. So 450. Now here, we're just gonna cluster all this. So 02 to 05 is like all one thing. And then 06 to 08. And then 9 to 1. That's the DR. So there. And what's our extension? 2.4. So we get the directional balance to the backside. We don't like that. We get the directional balance and then the close on the volume imbalance. Okay, so we obviously don't like any of this. Directional. Now here we get the directional. This rejected off the DRC. respected the clothesline. And then we get the volume imbalance, but we're not taking anything here, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't. I got one more candle, I guess, to see. Like this doesn't look like it wants to price higher. We're taking in, we're closing, we're getting directional imbalances. We haven't filled this VIB. Yeah, I'm just shutting you down for the day. Don't really care. So you could have taken this assuming that this is your AMR, but I wouldn't have taken this trade. This to me doesn't look like it wants to go up, so we go like this, and then what did we say, 2.4? Yeah, 3.7R, not interested. Like, I guess you could argue for the 5, which is what I said that I'm after, and it runs, obviously. But like, if this candle would have closed like even above this VIB, I would have. But like, to me, this looks like it's pricing down. So I'm not interested. I wouldn't call that a confirmation. We're past time. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I'm being discretionary in the sense that like I want to see a reason to like take it long. Like I haven't. Yeah, like this looks like it could price down. This looks like it doesn't really look like it wants to do anything. Like to me, this actually looks like it's gonna do this, like the whole day, because by the drop off time of the median, it hasn't done anything. It literally, it hasn't. It had 2 candles outside the DR. It's had directional imbalances both ways. It hasn't, yeah, like it hasn't taken anything. So like I just, like I'm being discretionary in the sense that like, hey, if this runs to target, like cool, but like I also just don't want to risk losing a trade here because I'm hoping that it runs. Which like in these 2 examples, I was wrong, but I can tell you over like all my trading, it's like, yeah, that ended up being a false day. And it's like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like there's like, so we get the directional lower and then it closes lower, and then we get 2 candles that come up and it refuses to close above the VIB, above the candle. Then we get another close lower and it's an actual candle close. Then we get a directional imbalance and a candle close lower. And then when we get the up candle, it doesn't go above the VIB, and it doesn't close above the candle. And then the same here. It dibs up, but like, yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. So like to me, like this is just, yeah, like, so I'd just rather not take a trade and just like if I open it up later and it ran to target, like, oh yeah, it was cool, I lost it, like I didn't lose anything, I didn't gain anything. Like there's no, like, you can't look at the result of what could have been and be like, oh, I missed out on 7R today, because now you're like being like now you're adding negative thought processing, right? It's like, who cares that I missed this? So you're gonna miss lots of trades. I would rather miss this than take the trade, like, because you don't know that this happens in real time. So, yeah, like there's so from the ADR to the ODR, like nothing's really happened. And like to me, yes, this is an upside day if you're looking at models, but if you're looking at it from the previous RDR, we have the ADR inside the RDR, then we have an upside day, or an upside from here, but like theoretically, like this could be a trumpet model, right? Like you could have your RDR down here, and then you're gonna sweep back up. Like, so it's just like, I just don't care. It's like, if I don't see something that screams like, hey, like this is a good trade to take, then I just don't care. And now if I go back and in say like I finish the year and I go back and I'm like, hey, out of all the times where I didn't take trades and this was the type of price action, say there's 20 of these in the year, was it worth it to take the trade or not? And if the answer is like a 2R difference between yes and no, well then, like, why would I take those? Like, then my discretionary choice of not taking the trade is worth it. I just want it to be stress free. No, it wouldn't even have to be 100R. I would say it'd have to average, like, it would have to be like a 2.5R a month difference for it to be like worthwhile, like, or more, right? But if the difference is 7R for the year, like I don't, I that's right. Well, that also depends on your account size.
Well, no, you just think of it in terms of R, right? So whatever your account size, kind of way, like your R per hour is really what I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah. This is ADR on Wednesday. True long. Oh, this is a weird one. I don't even think I've ever looked at this day. Am I looking at the right information here? Oh, why was news days checked? That's weird. This still looks really weird. So 0809. What's our cutoff time? 2120. 2120, 08 to 09. So in this case, I would like, it's basically like super accentuated. Is that the right word? It's like, it's basically saying it's one of these two, and then I would add in 0.1 to negative 0.2. And then our extension is 2.1. So we got that directional. We're entering. As soon as that opens, in this case, I would just use the trampolines, and we're going to 2.1, which, what is this? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. There's an example of the directional just running straight to target. 5R, didn't even think about it. I'm done trading in 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Actually, I'm done trading, like, as soon as this hits here or wherever, I'm break even. So I'm literally at my computer. We get the wick confirmation. I enter the trade. As soon as I see this, I already know my stop is going to be right here, assuming it's going to be a true day. I walk away. I come back during the ODR, and I'm up 5R. I'm actually up more than that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 5.3R. Stress free. 2035. No, it was a 2030 wick confirmation. now we go on to the next day. Our next session. Right here. So like, again, this is one of those things. This is like, I could discretionarily be like, oh, this is probably going to the other side of the, yeah, but it's like, do I want to add that stress or do I just want to say the target? And like I saw J Bell posted, he's like, this is why I don't pick high target CL beyond median 2.0. It's like, but why? The data says that 50% of the time this is right. So it's like, why add the discretionary element? Like, in order to add the discretionary element to that, you would have to back test the whole year and go, okay, if I only went to 2.0 on any time it was over, how many R would I be up or down? That's the only way you can make, because the
giving up bars what happens. Like most of the time after it hits your target, it does some kind of a retracement, and it's like, how do you? When do you determine that it's like, let's say you said you wanted to attack my position.
uh,
How much are you willing to give up against a already rich target to preserve the right to trail? Like I am actually working on some tags that help determine is there a reasonable time. Like looking at the W just distance in the weekly box for the WDR, the WDR direction as opposed to the previous WDR, like all these different things I'm going to tag and see is there times when I should trail and times if it's worth anything.
I
I don't know if it may be a rabbit hole. I don't know.
no, 100%. So like I said, like earlier, I think the only time you can add discretionary stuff, in my opinion, is with the weekly DR. But it would have to be tested because there's just so much evidence that like it's going, like if it's if it's a confirmed day, it's going to go, like when it's within a certain range, it's going to the weekly DR. Or if it confirms like this here, it's doing one of two things. It's either confirming, hitting this, and just becoming a false day.
I hate taking confirmations into the WDR.
Exactly, but why? The data. So this is my argument against like being afraid to take a trade. The data doesn't lie, and if you like, and that's the same thing with saying like with J Bell's like I don't take like plastic to 2.0. It's like, but why? You're hindering yourself because the data says 50% of the time it's hitting 2.3 in this case. So if we go for 2.1, then more than 65% of the time. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I've hit 3.4 days, right? Like so it's like so.
But you are correct. It's one of those things like I will need 100 plus data sets in that particular day, whether that target is whatever crazy,
Mm-hmm.
to then see is it worth it holding or not. And that's what I was doing with the monkey on Mondays when we were going to 0.8 only. But that was the target.
So we're done February now. Let's look at the results. So ADR, this is a 30% win rate, 6 winners, 6 losses, 8 break evens. I've had 4 consecutive losses, and obviously like I could break down and figure out like where those are. So for no, basically I want consecutive losses less than 5. That's right. Well, this is the whole. This is all my. This is January and February. But
Right now, like looking at ADR, like it's not worth it. Your expectancy is a little bit more than 1. Because you have 20 total trades.
20 trades, a little
yeah, but how is that not worth it? You're telling me that an expectancy of 1 is like 1% is 1%.
That you
Right. But as long as the result isn't a negative expectancy, then who cares?
Well, and also you might have all your consecutive users included in ADR.
Well, here, this will be easy to see. So if we,
100% M7 will look at that and say it's not worth it to trade ODR.
yeah, but it's so my example is well, actually, we can go. So if we go,
It's all personal preference.
that's that's right.
On it too.
Uh, ODR plus RDR.
So technically, you produce more R to offset the winners.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really make that statement until you can figure out how to filter out the losers.
ODR RDR refresh.
So if you optimized ADR, it would be a complete.
Yeah, so that's it. Now you got two
Yeah, so the only reason that we had 4 in a row was because there was
stacking.
the session stacking, right? So then I guess yeah. So far, ADR doesn't look like it's worth it. Like you just that's crazy. This is just January and February, and this is like mechanical, like easily executable.
You inverse the ADR.
Yeah, just no. So yeah, so the problem with ADR,
Win rate 70%. New strat.
yeah, no, the problem with ADR is it just doesn't have the volume, right? Like that's the it's not that it goes right or wrong. It's it just doesn't oscillate enough, and usually
Sponsorship.
yeah, like days like this are so rare. It's
Also,
it,
the amplitude is so small for the number of ticks, right? Where your stop placements are. I know everyone thinks it's relative, and it is, but
Let's be
if
real. Are
you're
you gonna put 100 grand out on ADR
you're
right
you're
now?
looking for like 22 ticks,
bro, you're
six ticks,
you're
like
you're asking the wrong guy. If you're telling me that my expectancy is 1% of 100 grand every time I take that, yeah, I'll.
for 24 days.
Yeah, like you're telling me I'm up 24 grand. Like, what do you mean? Like, yes, I'll take that.
I wonder
Now,
what
if you're,
the trade size support is for ADR versus because
it's the same.
the same. Oh, it is.
Yeah, you're because you can't trade. Every trade you execute has to have the same risk value because as soon as you start changing the risk value,
That wasn't my question, really. You look at the. Have you watched the ADR? You ever watch it?
yeah, lots.
The volume is much lower than ODR and RDR.
Oh yeah, that's what we just said.
So, like, let's say if you were trading, $2 million account and your VAR value is, 25% or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
getting in and getting out of those lots is not the same as it would be during the ODR and RDR session.
Oh
Your stops might be dramatically less.
yeah, well that's all debatable. Like we
Okay,
can
well,
all
I mean, it's a legitimate question.
I I think we can all agree that like 99% of like even slippage I think is just manipulation. Like you like there's so much liquidity in the markets. I think slippage is an intentional thing to just cause people to lose more money. Like that's my opinion, especially when you're trading like super liquid markets like oil, like the ES, like big players are in here all the time. Banks are in here all the time. Hedge funds are in here all the time. Like the money's there. It's just a matter of like how can they fuck more people over.
Begin to see your orders flow before the paid market makers
That's right.
before it hits the market. They can see it from the source.
100%.
But yeah, I don't know. I like where you're going with this. Whether you trade ADR or not, it doesn't necessarily.
Well,
I'm a slippage fan myself, but I haven't done the testing myself.
that's right. So
It's
like
just speculation.
I I remember being in like when I traded ICT, when I traded in the other academy, whatever, like I just stayed away from the ADR because like I just didn't like how it moved. There was never volume. Like it was like it was. And when I say volume, I don't mean money in the market. I just mean like that's not how I used to rationalize it. I was just like it literally just looks sideways 90% of the time, and then the odd time it'll do this like crazy run. So to me, it just wasn't interesting. But at the same time, that's like some of the best money that's made is like scalpers playing markets that just bounce between each other, right? So it's like you can argue both ways.
Sure. Yeah, I get that. That makes sense too. Plus, I think volume is only increasing. I mean, I traded, crude and heating oil back in, in the 2007 to 2000, the second half of 2010, and the volume was nothing like that. I mean, it was rare to find people doing it, to be honest with you. Very, very rare. It was like a small group of people that, aside from the banks and the hedgers and stuff. So it's getting, there's more volume, but it's not increasing.
Here's another example of a trade that just ran to target. I, man, I'm telling you, I can't make this shit up. So we get the volume imbalance. I would go two ticks above the IDR, instant run. And like here, like well, like if this didn't hit my,
Did it trade through your price?
no,
Exactly like the trade from last week.
I have no idea.
It was like teetering at the top of the DR box and then just came down.
Comfort.
Do you often give targets at all?
On
No.
Wednesday, yeah, that's right too.
Zero. So like if your
Looks just
target is
like his timing
2.6,
too.
you're going to 2.6 exactly.
Oh no, it's
Do you do for spread difference or anything like that?
no, it's median minus 0.2.
Okay.
Sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying. But like here, so just because I understand how the market like works, I'd be obviously watching this, and if it started pulling back, I would just close my order. Like I don't even care where this goes. Like maybe this goes further, yeah. But like when a move like this happens,
Take your money and run.
yeah, like because you know that there are times where it just goes like fucking just spring shot, right? So yeah, so like if I see this hit target and it doesn't close my order and I start seeing it come this way, I'm like, nope. You are not taking my money today. uh, but then this, yeah, I was gonna say this, like when I see this open up with a directional bounce again, like I know this is one of those days that is just like running like crazy. So it's like I would close it just out of like fear of like the rejection, but as soon as I see the next candle open, I'm like, fuck, why did I close my fucking order? But yeah.
Nah, but that's fine. You're gonna get those. You
Well, no, like this doesn't happen very often. You're like, but again, so I think there's been three where we open on the VIB. One of them was a loss, and the other two just
This is a perfect example of like you could use models in your favor. Your target is already past the first trumpet target. You're very, very close to 0.5, the target. Fucking stretch the target to the IDR low.
yeah, sure, do whatever you want. I I'm up 150R in 2 months. Just not changing anything other than what the data presents. I'm happy. Like, yeah, exactly, right? So like this is so like let's look at our equity curve. So if we go like I'm gonna be starting with 10 grand. I'm gonna be doing 3% until I hit 500K. So we'll just see. Wait, what? No, something's got to be. I must have a wrong target or something here.
I had look at my results for my monthly.
Oh, here we go.
675 R. I'm like, what?
Oh,
A short trade X is zero.
77.3. This was the March trade, right? Yeah, this is the one I just took. Result. No, result is 76.74. Yeah, that's better. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So until I hit 500K, I'm risking 3%. This is 2 months. So like at this point, right here, I would drop down to 2% until I hit a million. And then I'm dropping down to 1%. So no, but this is the discipline, right? Like this is the crazy stuff. So like this is why I'm redoing this test, because I'm like, man, like I've been overcomplicating fucking everything. Everything. I'm trying to like find ways to be like an Anand and Ola and like never have losses. But like if you just look at this full performance report, and let's take out ADR because we already established like at this point it's pointless to be trading it. So we'll just do ODR plus RDR. We'll do our filter. So if you can get over having 2 losses in a row and 3 break evens in a row multiple times, and a couple days of no trading, this is no, but this is the result. This, it shows like this is like you can't, you exactly, you can't, I can't make this up, right? Like this isn't exactly. So actually we'll show the equity curve for here. So 3%, 10K. So you take out. So this equity curve actually even looks better because we took out the 4 consecutive losses. So there's no like big dip.
Yeah, like who the fuck doubles their account in a month?
Yeah, double. Like we're so this is, bro, this is so 1 month takes us here. Who doubles their account? Who 10x's their account?
Is it 10? Oh, yeah, because you started at 10, not 100.
Oh yeah, dude, if you had 100K to start this at 3%, you're a millionaire already. And all it would take is discipline. Like that's what I mean with this. So like the approach, this is why I want this approach, because it's so like if you can just take your hands off and you can literally just be like, okay, I'm taking trades, these are the rules, we're break even at 2, we're walking away after the median time, we're only entering if there's a real valid reason to enter. That's it. Can I commit to that for 3 months? Yeah, of course I can. I can do anything. If after 3 months I don't have the results I'm looking for, then we'll reassess. But I already know my kid's here in 6 weeks. I want to be home. And I'm tired of the cyclical bullshit that I've been doing in trading when I know the result can be a million times better. Yeah, and this is what I've said, and I said it, I don't know if you've watched my session yet, but all I've been looking for my entire trading career is something that I can plug and play with as little discretion as possible. And DR gives that. So why am I trying to find, like, I'm literally, like, I respect what Ola's done, I respect what Anand's done, but I'm trying, like, to me, that's like pretending that I'm a successful ICT, and
You almost want to be a bot, but not implement an actual bot trading.
exactly, you're like those guys are. I don't think it's possible. I don't think. Yeah, so that's why I want it as mechanical as possible, right? Like I don't want to be like, oh well, the data says if this extension's hit and then we have the quadruple here, we can take a reversal to the other side of the DR and blah, blah. Like I don't give, like, I just show we're at $1 million in, or $400,000 off of 10K in 2 months. of just accepting that, you know what, we went break even today, and that's why I just want to walk away. I don't want to watch the price action. I want a reason to enter a trade. I want to set an alarm for 2 hours, and I want to walk away. Because sitting there watching it is what causes the problem.
Yeah, because it's always the illusion. I mean, that they're masters at making it look like it's doing something other than what it's doing.
They have mastered the human psyche. They have mastered how to fuck the human psyche. Okay, so we're at 03 to 01, but we're not going to put that because we're inside. So we'll do, man, Wednesday longs look terrible. So 01 to 03. Oh, wait, this is valid. So 03 to 0. And what's our drop off? 11:05. Oh, beautiful day. I love days like this. This is a great day. So the retracements look brutal, but this is just like music to my ears. I don't like that this had a directional to the downside before it confirmed, though. Or wick confirmed anyways. 01 to 03. And the reason I'm liking this backtesting the way I'm doing it now is because like I can do this. Like this is like it's plug and play. 04 to 08. So like if I don't see what I want to see by 11:05 today, I'm just done. I just know, like, cool. Have a good day, guys. That's not directional. Our extension is 2.5, so we would be wanting to see nothing. We're done for the day. Who cares? Oh, weird. Like, how many times would you have been fucked here? You would have seen, yeah, that long. And then I guess, yeah, the retirement works out this time. Like, you'd probably go for a new high or the DR or whatever. So it works this time. But, like, yeah, so, like, you're minus 1 hour, then you're plus 5 hour. So you're up 4 hour on the day, and you sat here, and you're watching this whole fucking thing play out, because if this comes back down here and takes you out but stops at the 1, well, you're taking another retirement setup. Like, get out of here. I don't care about any of this stuff.
I probably would have put my stop in. It wouldn't have been 5R. I would have been struggling for 3 because I would have had my stop in the
Yeah. Yeah, you would have saw this. You would have been like down here, and then you would have been like this. So you're like, oh, sweet, I got a 2 hour setup. Beautiful. Garbage. Get out of here. I've been out cutting grass since 11:05. Have fun. Yeah. Don't care about this day. Okay, we get a confirmation at 4 o'clock. ODR Thursday, true long. Just gonna go to the next candle to get, so we'll be entering here, but let's just put our shit on here. 01 to 02 is here, which is perfect. What's our time? 5 o'clock. Oh, long days. Don't like it. So long days. Playing an hour.
Well, yeah, but it will be long because you're going to be trading 2 sessions at a minimum. So
Yeah, but maybe I'm not. Like if I'm getting 60 hour a month or 30 hour a month, like maybe I don't. Like maybe I'm just like, yeah, like it's just whatever the result is. Like if I'm getting 60 hour a month trading 2 sessions, and that gets me at 400K in a month. Well, if I know that I can get 30 R as an average in 1 session, okay, it takes me twice as long to get there. I know in 6 months I'm a millionaire. Like I don't care. like I'm just testing every session to see what's worth it. Yeah, like my goal is Bugatti money. So how do I get there? And not because I want a Bugatti. I live in Canada. It's fucking useless to have a Bugatti here. I. That's right. I just want the money. I want the architecture.
Gonna have the nicest fucking G-Wagon.
Oh, look at this. This is a beautiful 2.1.
Guest.
So we're obviously in this. That's probably taking us out. Did that take us out?
Oh my god. Yeah, that is sick.
So,
Stop one tick below confirmation.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No. I would, so basically what I would do in this case, if I was trading live, I would see the confirmation. I would go here because in my head, if it comes into the zero point 0.1, it could go as low as a 0.3. Yeah, exactly. So like I would just, so this would be fine. And obviously if it comes back, it comes back. It's whatever. So we're 1R. We're just going to fast forward. Is this?
You outline your 2R every time.
Yeah, like I would if I was trading. Yeah, so I'd be break even here. Like normally, so if I was trading live, I would go like this, and I would just set an alarm right here. And it's nope. I would just go, boom, set. Oh, why is this wanting to draw? Oh, because it's previous time. Yeah, so I would set an alarm for here, and as soon as it hits that, I'm just opening my app, and I go break even, and I just close the app again, or I come to my computer. It's that easy. Okay, so this is break even.
Trades time and price.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, why not? Like, if I can trade time and price like Monkey, and I know what the expectancy is of 30R, why wouldn't I trade time and price like Monkey? There you go. So confirmation was 10.
Becomes Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I am Donkey Kong. That's what's up. And like, look here. So let's pretend you took. You're like, okay, I see the rejection here is time. You took this trade. You're like, yeah, this is great. We're going long. Then you lose here. Then the day is not over, and this is ODR. So you're like, well, it could still go up here. So we got the rejection from this cluster, and we got a directional. So I'm going to enter here. Now you're down 2R. Now you're playing RDR like you want to win back your money that you lost in ODR. Like, get out of here. I don't care about any of this shit. What time is this? 11:15, and that is a candle confirmation, so we're in. So RDR Thursday, true long. We're just gonna play the next candle to see what happens here. We probably don't end up in this trade, obviously, but let's go 0.3 to 0. Where's 0? Right there.
What about on days where like the drop off is after median time for you?
The drop off is, I don't care. I'm going to median time. I
I think the answer is still the answer, but
yeah, like I'm not.
in this case,
I want to spend. I want to spend as little time as humanly possible looking for the right trade setup. If the right trade setup doesn't present itself, I'm just hanging out for the day.
Did you just post that, Jacob? Oh, I see what you're saying. It was 11:45. Your drop off.
yeah, drop off's at 12.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so 11:35. We got this. Then we got the 0.1 to 0.2. And so the other thing with the way that I'm trading this, you're always waiting for candle close to take a trade. So you're never entering just because it like came into this cluster. We would add 0.304 just because. Yeah, exactly what you were saying, right? You're like, I try to front run everything. I say, why? You're fucking yourself. You're pretending you understand what price is doing. You have no fucking idea what price is doing.
Well, sometimes it really works out. Like I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
just like then I'll run into periods.
Yeah, so if you're good 50% of the time, you lose 50% of the time, I guarantee you you're down money. So who cares? Stop trying to front run shit. it it's way more stressful. Yeah, I don't like stress. I like to live my life normal. Um, so this is the end of our time. We're at point 0.8. Our extension's 1.6. I'm done for the day. Don't care what it does. Oh, weird. Weird. Free day for me. Everybody else just lost money. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That's okay. So we are Thursday, which is actually Friday. ADR. Confirmation, true short. 2135. And we are going to be 02 to 01. Uh, 0203. Yeah, I wish there was a way to like just have this automatically propagate. That'd be fucking. But like, obviously they can't because it's discretionary what you want to put there. But I wish there was a way to program it so that it's like a. Yeah, that's just a lot of work though. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really care about. I don't care that much. Like, cause it only sucks in back testing. Like any other, yeah, like live it doesn't matter. Just drawing all the boxes. Whereas like live, it's like it takes 30 seconds 3 times a day if you're training all the sessions, right? It's like whatever. Okay, so we've got this. Our extension is gonna be 1.8. After the 0.5 is reached, I do look at 0 to 03, which is here. So we'll see what happens on the next candle. Yeah, no, not interested. Oof, that's nope, don't like that either. Weird, eh? Weird how that works out. Not interested. Day's over for me. Oh, weird. Everybody just lost money again. Like this is, I love this, man. Like this is just like I know everybody just lost money here. They entered here. This is the medium drop off. We're using, or they entered here probably actually, because it's like now we're using this as the AMR. There's no 2R. There's no. That's the other thing I really like about this style is it is almost always running 2R, so you can go break even. Like there's so much break even, but it mitigates so many losses. So we're at the ODR true short on a Friday. It's kind of a gross looking. What's our cutoff? 535. So that's okay. I like that. 535 is a good time. So we are everywhere here. We're already at the 0.5. I don't like any of that distribution. So 02 to 01. 535. Oh no, 535. I was thinking 435. Yeah, 535 sucks. All this looks terrible. I would not be surprised if I don't take a trade here. 02 to 05. And 7 to.
Can I ask you a question? If you were doing this
Mm-hmm.
live, right?
Yep.
Would you still be using the monthly data, or would you be doing the daily data?
I would just do day. Yeah. Yeah, I would just do the day. Like I just do. And you can ask J Bell. I used to do like when I when I did my 450 back test, I did every week, like so, like
that.
yeah, like so, like I was extremely detailed with like, like this is the first time where I've been like, okay, I'm fine with the month of, like all the other testing I've done, everything from ES to CL to Monkey to time and price to frame, everything was like on that week.
Yeah, before chosen date.
Yeah, that's right. And now,
That's what I'm doing. It slows things down a lot. And if you forget,
yeah, but so like here's my argument of why I don't anymore.
Like it does not change that much.
Well, even like so here's why it doesn't even matter like at all. So if we go, so let's do, obviously, no, we'll just do, I know long data is, let's do like a Wednesday true long for RDR. Not Wednesday, sorry. Let's do Thursday. Okay, so you can see the data here. So if we go entire data set, nothing changes. So all it does is it accentuates, like it just makes this, and this more common. Like so it just proves that the data doesn't lie. So the only
I've seen on ES certain
like there'll be one,
times will flip flop
yeah.
the same, or the extension will change like point 0.1. It's very, very, very minuscule.
Yeah, like the overall data doesn't change. There might be like one distribution retracement that like slowly like goes down and another one goes up, but it's like it's never enough.
to change where you're gonna actually go.
That's right. Like if you're being like smart about your placement, it shouldn't affect you. And we're talking like a small so like it's fucking like one person like one trade a week or something over a year or 5 years or like whatever, right? Like so it's just not enough to be like alarming
Okay.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It makes sense. Can I just see what your lens data is for these three clusters that you chose, just so I can get a little better bead on how you're doing it?
Yeah, so it's uh we're on ODR true short. How can I make this? We'll go like this. Yeah, so uh so zero, no wait, this is before choosing date, February. Oh, we're in March. Shouldn't really change anything. True short. This is ODR, yeah? I can.
What time confirmation's got it right away?
Yeah, it's right away. That's fine. Oh, I'm on the wrong day. That's why, because I changed this Friday. I'm like, man, why does this look so different? There we go. So all I'm doing is, so 01 to 02 is like a mode. So 01 to 02. And then you could, yeah, exactly. So like I actually only did 02 to 05 because it's like whatever. Like I don't really, like it's whatever. And then just all of this 07, and then I stopped at 1.1 instead of 1.2 because the DR, like it would have to be within this, because it can't be like if it's a 1.2, it can't be outside because that'd be a false day, right? So that's it.
Right. Okay. All right. That makes sense to me.
um and then 2.1 is gonna be our extension, so it's down there. um So this is probably the only example of a time where the directional imbalance, I wouldn't enter a trade, and that's because this wick confirmation is so, it like retraced so much into the DR, and the IDR is so far away. Like this just doesn't make any sense to me. Like we're at the weekly DR. we super extended. We came back. We closed. If this closed below the Vib, I'd enter, but it didn't. It closed above the Vib, so it's rejecting going down. And then the directional, I'd probably even enter if the directional imbalance opened below the Vib, but it didn't. So I would see what this candle did, and then it closed up. So this is just one of those things where like you would have to do like a lot of back testing to like see what you're looking at. But as soon as like I didn't even hit the next candle, I was like, nope, this like I would not enter here. Directional. This is looking like a false day. We'll see though. So this is a Vib to the or a directional to the upside. That's way too big of a candle to care about. That didn't retake anything. Yeah, so I'm probably, this looks like it is actually going to keep going down. But right here, I'm just done for the day. Don't care. So this is just another example where like I miss a trade, right? But like you're never putting, or like the drop off time. What's the, no, there's it's in this zone.
Do you ever enter before median time except for the dip? Do you have other exceptions?
Yeah, if there's like clear like rejections and stuff. But like, so here, this to me isn't clear because we have the directional imbalance to the upside. We come up. This is only one rejection from a volume imbalance and a cluster. That's not justification to me. So like, if there's, I guess we can close this. So there's actually like 5 things that have ran through my head at this point. A, we had the confirmation at 405 and it's 435. So the data is now changed. That's the number one thing. We get the rejection from the volume imbalance, and then the next candle is a directional imbalance to the upside. So this is like, I have no reason into this. When this comes down, it stops to the tick on a special, and then the next candle is just enormous. So it's like where am I looking to enter here that makes the like gives me a good R when we're only going to 2.1. So we're right here. So like there's no setup here that I can see that gives me a good R. Like let's pretend we're up here, 2.1, like we're like at a 1R. Don't care. So like in this type of day, I'm just not interested. Like now my median time's over. Could we enter here? Sure, but I'm not even looking at the computer anymore. I'm like gone. And then here, so like let's pretend you're still sitting here, and obviously this runs the target, but let's just say you're sitting here, and let's say you entered here. Let's say your stop is using the AMR. Oops. And your target's down at your 2.1. So when this comes down here and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rejections and it starts pricing higher, 9 rejections, prices higher, and you see this candle, like, are you actually holding this trade or are you closing it out of panicking? Yeah, like, so like,
And at the very worst time, because I would have held it to the bottom, the top of the previous wick at the DRC. So it would have whipped me out right there, and that would have been it. I would have had to chase it all the way back down to get back in.
yeah, so like again, like I missed this trade. I missed.
I might have used the special there, the protection, because it's kind of close. I did 3 layers, but
Oh, this like super ran.
those trades get me a lot, man. That's why I don't like. It's better when I don't. When I'm in good that I don't watch. When I know that I got a good price,
Yeah, so I like,
I don't watch.
so my argument is like, I'm not even looking at this, and like, how many days have we looked at it, and I'm like, okay, I'm done for the day, and it just reverses, and like, I'm like we've said this like 5 or 6 times, like, oh, I'm out, and then I just saw guys lose fucking 3R, and I lost nothing. So yeah, I didn't make this, but I didn't I didn't lose the other 4 days that I walked away either. So like, I just don't like, I don't care. I'm happy walking away. Because you can't, I've already said this, you can't be results based on how, like, what you, because everybody will miss, everybody, when they think about results, they always think about what they missed positive. They never think about what they missed negative. That's right. And that's just human psychology. Like, nobody wants to think about, like, man, I'm like super analytical. You can ask the wife. I'm way too analytical. I take, I have very little emotion. I take everything very serious, and I hyperanalyze everything. I remember the good and the bad. I'm I'm a very positive person and just in life. But I talk in like contexts where people are like, oh man, you're like really like you're negative. I'm like, no, I'm not. I just understand how people think. Like, it's like, I truly want the best for everybody, but I understand that 95% of people in this world are, yeah, exactly, because they're only looking at one side of the, exactly. It's like, yeah, I could justify a million reasons why this trade should have been good, and like, I can take it, but I'm setting up the rules and parameters that just put me outside of that spectrum, because look at how many days I would have lost, and then I'm trying to recuperate the loss. That's right. Oops, I didn't mean to hit next, but that's okay. That is directional imbalance, so we'll see what this day looks like. Yeah, mine's yellow. Okay, so let's go. Well, hey, but if you trade ICT, this is textbook order block down pricing 2022 model. Yeah. like so like I see all this shit. I just don't give a fuck. Like, t- so one of the main reasons I really respect M7 is because, especially when he's doing his lives, nothing's emotional. He is teaching DR the way he explains DR. He takes his trades in DR the way he teaches it. There's no emotion. He doesn't care if he loses a trade. He doesn't care if he wins the trade. He doesn't care if he break evens the trade. He trades it the way he teaches, and his mindset is winning. Period. It doesn't matter if he wins or loses. He is winning. You never see that with ICT. Never. Bro, Hannah, yeah.
And that was what brought me to M7 to begin with, is because I'm watching his videos. Oh, that was quick. Another loser, another loser. I'm like, oh shit, something different about this guy. And I'm like, it resonated with me immediately. Like, there was, I didn't, the bullshit filter, there was nothing there, you know? It was like, I didn't detect an ounce of bullshit in it, you know?
Yeah, and it's exactly. So like, and it's like, obviously he does more stuff now, but the way he taught in the beginning was, it was just non-discretionary. It's like, this is time, this is how you trade time, this is price, this is how you trade price. Go practice time and price until you're fucking dead in the water, and tell me it doesn't work. And it's like, well, I'm redoing CL, just time and price again, and it is 100% factual profitable. You can't, the only reason you wouldn't be profitable is if you're not doing what's taught. So it's, yeah, it's just ridiculous. Okay, so here 1.5 is the extension. This is directional imbalance. Because this candle, I wouldn't go below this candle. I would go below the IDR in this case. Yeah, like there's a whole bunch of DRCs here. We've got this. This candle basically opened, didn't wick at all, so it's like it looks to me like price wants to keep going, and I'm protected by the IDR, the DRCs. So like if it comes back in here, I'd take a second trade, but we'll see what happens. So we're break even. Come on, don't fuck me. There we go. So another example, directional imbalance directly after the confirmation runs the target. Yeah, but here, so this is the thing. So this happens. Well, no, but that's how this has to happen, right? So like if the directional imbalance happens directly, that's right. But I don't do just the short shallow retracement because it has to have a directional imbalance. So like the short shallow retracement argument is just if it retraces into the primary cluster. Yeah. So to me, as soon as this hits 2R, I'm break even. I come back, I'm up 4R on the day. Done. Yeah, but I don't even have to look at it. Like I can. So part of my philosophy for this system that I've been trying to build is I get tired. Like even when. So like I had developed like a system that I liked, but I in my head I was always wondering, like, is it like, do I have to go like take another trade? Like, is this like what? Whereas this is like, I can set it like a break even at 2, and it either runs target, it doesn't. I know the profitability long term. I don't even need to think about it. I don't want to think about it. I literally want to I want to execute a trade, and I want to go to bed, or go do whatever. Like I don't want this to be in my thought process on any level. That's right. I've spent 5 years trading, nowhere near the profitability that I want to be, and I'm over it. I want to develop a plug and play system where I can turn my brain off and just let the system play. And this is it. Like I'm showing this like live, real time, simple. You just have to follow like simple rules. The longest you're going to be here on this day is 11:45. The earliest is this directional imbalance just happened, and I can show you examples of in January several times. I lost trades like this, but it happened after the median time. So like I just didn't even care. It didn't hit the 2, so my alarm didn't go off, but I ended up losing it. The alarm didn't go off, so I didn't get to go to break even. I didn't get to look for a second trade, and I lost the trade after the median time, but I just don't care. I understand it didn't run at target, but it doesn't matter. This is just part of the plan. Yes. Nope. Well, yeah, like if I'm watching it and like say I am sitting here for whatever reason, and like I think there was one example back here where it was like 1.97 or something. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm going break even here. I'm never just losing a trade because it was 0.05 off of a fucking target. Lots. Don't care. Yeah, but there's also a lot that
You would have to see like of the winners, what was the arbitrage
yeah, like I can promise you. So like Santee doesn't move anything to break even. But he trades time and price different than what I'm doing. Like he trades the shallow retracements. He's trading time and price. He's willing to use 2 trades a day. Whereas like I wish I could see how many trades per day I take. I'm like 99% sure that I'm taking 1 or 0 over 90% of the sessions. Because the times that I'm taking two, the only times I'm really taking two is when the directional imbalance happens and it doesn't run the target and it hits the stop. And then I'm waiting for a second reason to take a trade. Like, that's really the only time I'm taking two trades. Because, well, like we've done probably 15 days worth of whatever. I think I've taken one day, I've taken two trades. Because it's just not, because I'm looking for the reason to enter. I'm not just entering because, right? So, and then once the median time's done, I'm just done. I'm not looking for a second. Like, you can take two trades every day. You can take two trades every session. There's guys that take 100, like they blow account after account after account, taking four trades every session because they're trying to fucking run up stupidity. So we got this. We got this is gonna be Monday ADR. True short. Oh, gross clusters. Okay, so 0.3 to 0. What's our 2140? And then we'll do 0.1 to 0.5 just because it's all close enough. And then 0.6 to 1. So it's just like yeah, there's this like super mode, but like everything's just, so it's like 0.3 to 0.1, and then I'm like, okay, there is a gap here, and then 0.1 to 0.5, and then there's a gap, and then 0.6 to 1. And then same thing here. So the confirmation would have to happen like by the 2055 candle. And there's nothing here. Like, there's no VIBs, there's no specials. There's the double magnetic up here. So like, I'm gonna be super cautious here. And our extension is 1.9. What time? Yeah, so we didn't get the confirmation, so I'm just not even interested now. So we would need, okay, so we got the confirmation at 21, so we would change our data. So Monday short. So 0 to 0.1 is, I guess we could go to 0.2. So this is our cluster. And then 0.1 to 0.3. And then we'll just include like 0.4 to 1 is basically what we're after. So now we got that. Let's wait till the time. See if there's anything here. So we did get the directional imbalance, but because it's like within all of this, we would just see what happens. And obviously price is higher. So 1.8 would be our extension. So let's see what we would get. I would go one tick above here. And I would have all this like I would just actively constantly have a tool up to see like my R. I would obviously never just be waiting. So oops. 1, 2. So it's gonna be 4 for 1.8. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3R, just not really interesting to me. So we would just do an adjusted, and I would enter here. So it looks like I would have a limit order here, because it looks like we got the confirmation. It closed below. We're respecting the cluster. It's like coming down. And we're over the median time, so I would just close my trade here. Like, I would close the pending. And never went to target, and you would end up losing. Well, no, because I. Oh, if I did get entered, yeah. But I'm never playing on the assumption that I got entered, right? Okay, so we got a confirmation, true short, ODR for a Monday. True short, ODR. Got a gross little cluster selection, so we would do 02 to 03, which is kind of irrelevant. What's our drop off? 515, or median. So 515, we would do 02 to 03, and 05 to 08, and 9 to 1 in this case. But like, I don't think I've taken a single retirement setup in like all this. Like, I just don't see. Actually, I think there might have been one.
The retirement setup is not giving a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's just like it works out 20% of the time or something is what M7 says, and it gives really good R. But it's like I'm already getting really good R, so I'm not looking for that. Like, it's like I don't want to lose 4 out of every 5 retirement setups. On top of, I obviously also lost probably 4 or 5 other trades on those same days because the trade failed, and I'm waiting. So now I'm taking the retirement setup to make up for like 10 trades, right? So it's like ADR to me, based on how we're testing it. It's like it's just the probabilities just don't make sense to be waiting for those setups. Ooh, I really like that. So, let's see what happens here. So 2 would be our extension case. What's down there? So we can delete this because we got this up here now. So I don't think I would do anything here yet. I wouldn't do anything here because we rejected off the special. And I still don't like this. I probably just lose on the day. So we get the directional imbalance. We did price lower. If we were watching this live, what would we be thinking? We would be thinking that we wouldn't want it to come back into the, what is this blue line? I can't click on it. I don't understand what this blue line is. Oh, it's a DRC cluster. That's funny. Or like it's from, yeah. I've never seen one that tiny. That's funny. So if we were watching this live, what would we do? We would see the directional imbalance after we made a new low and closed below in here. So I believe I think I would though, and I would be above this special as long as I can get a good R. So we're at 1.8. No, we're at 2. Yeah, 4.43. We would do an adjusted 5 because that's what our work is. We get priced in on this one. We just played that live. Here?
Or like, why not get in up there?
Because
Like on the entry of.
yeah, so it's really easy to make
And you wouldn't enter on that down candle
Yeah,
in the form of dip.
well,
that.
if he was playing that game, he would have got back in at the when it first closed on the top side of the limiter, and then went all the way to the back end of that set bib cluster, and then closed down at the
Right.
bottom.
You would have been break
You would have
even.
been in there, right? Or I was thinking 3 candles over to the left.
Here.
The wick,
Oh, here.
first wick into the middle box.
Yeah, that the one candle to the right of that.
Yeah, none of this. So it's really easy. So like here, I'm not getting in because this open with a directional imbalance, but then like my stop would have had to have been way up here for that. Like I'm in empty space here in my head. So like, yeah, you could enter and like put your stop up here and whatever. But to me, I that's just this like I'm hoping that it doesn't come up here.
Just rolling the dice. You don't really have evidence.
That's right. So then
Pricing up right there.
here, I don't get in when this closes because it looks like it wants to price down, but then it rejects this limiter and it closes inside a cluster that like I think is key. And I like to me a cluster is like almost as good as a limiter. Like it's deciding if a cluster that I've highlighted, it's like does it want to go in and like bounce up, or does it want to like that's just how I look at clusters because they're
Already violated it to the upside.
that's
It's holding it. It's holding it. Is what you're saying.
that's right. So then up here, this is just nothingness again. So I don't know what price wants to do. It comes up and it closes. It actually closes inside of this VIB. So it's like, okay, I don't care that this opens as a directional imbalance to the downside because price is already, to me, showing that like it's not 100% certain what it wants to do. It already closed inside this VIB. It already wicked inside the other two. So like this could just continue up or whatever. The only directional imbalances that I like are like this one where price is clearly shown that it wants to price down. That's worth it to me. Would it have worked here this time? Sure. But like, there's also been other examples where I was like, no, I don't like this. And it went the other way. So then I don't enter on this close because this isn't showing me it wants to price down. This is just, yeah, like this is just saying, hey, we closed to the tick on this candle again.
That's just shaking out weak hands on the long side.
And you're still above that limiter at that point too.
Yeah. So
I did like the top location because you have so many points of protection.
Yeah, you're on the VIBs and the
You got the
DRC
DRC
cluster.
and
and you got the VIB, the 2 VIBs above.
so if this here to me, if this wouldn't have closed inside of one of these VIBs, I probably would have taken the trade here. But because there's no wick and price is literally just stopped right here, and it's like, that's right. I have no idea. There's no like to me this looks like price wants to move up. Like there's no indication of a rejection here. And a directional imbalance directly after a candle close like this means nothing to me. So then yeah,
I mean, but like, I don't know. I don't see how you would have been down at R.
Because I would have got in
Thinking
at
of,
the first rejection of the VIB after the confirmation.
yeah, but like
Not
thinking about frame though.
no,
Lower,
right here.
lower cluster, -2 to 3.
No, he's saying he would have been in here, J-Bill. He's saying right here when this rejected, he would have had to stop like above this limiter or like even up here, and he would have been stopped out.
But I would have re-entered at that area
I don't
because
even
I have so
understand
much
why you
protection.
would take that trade.
Because he,
I believe the short, shallow retracement.
yeah,
I'm always playing for those.
yeah, he's playing the Santi setup. Santi takes a trade here too, I think. But so for me, like I played this candle by candle. I explained my entire thought process. I explained why I got in here, and it worked. Like so, it's like, and even if and even let's pretend I lose here. So if I lose this, and it whatever, I'm probably just done for the day. Like, because unless I see something like super explicit, like I just lost 1 hour.
Stop that immediately and then find another hold.
Yeah, and I'm just that's not what I want to be doing. So like to me, like if I lose this, I just okay, I lost the day. Not a big deal. Move on.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of the shackles though.
I feel the same. I would probably take the entry of the middle cluster where everything's like stacked on top of each other. No, no, higher.
Oh,
The other one. Yeah, that,
and man, if you're
that's a picture perfect frame cluster.
so here, so let's look at this. So you
High
Might have sniped
probability.
that, you're saying, right?
no,
Sniped that, right?
he probably would have been like here, like on this
It would
close.
have been in a tick
No.
below it because in case it stopped
Yeah,
there and
tipping.
it didn't print my price, I would have been pissed. So I would have been one tick below the bib.
Oh, up here.
I
No,
just
no,
don't know if I
no,
would have
no.
gotten in on the lit candle or
Two
the
tick,
second
but
step.
the one tick below there's a bib overlaid on a DRC. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
right here.
Yeah, I would have been
Oh.
one tick below that, not to stop my entry, is what I'm saying.
Oh, you would have been here.
Because I have that protection of those three things right there, and I would have put
Mhm.
it on the other side of the stop would have been on the other side of the second bib. Yeah, right there, bang.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So that trade's 4.4R. And my trade was we got in on this directional imbalance.
Yours is 5.
Yeah, where would
Because you said you go limit for 5.
Oh yeah. It was like 5.3. There we go. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And so but this is also what I mean about playing back test like you would a forward test. I literally stopped here and I said, okay, what would I actually do if this was live price action? And I'm like, okay, it looks like it's pricing down. I've now got I like to me, I don't want this to come back up here again. Like we've now rejected this area. We've broken the DR IDR. I want it to respect this cluster. I want it to respect it, and it respects the limiter to the tick. It's like okay, we're not.
It's almost like, I know this isn't what you're trading, but like this example is literally a perfect goldfish.
Yeah, I don't care about any of that shit.
No, exactly. But like, this is probably what everybody is wanting us to find after doing 500 times the price back test. Is to find those goldfish.
Yeah, look at this fishbowl. Yeah, the tea. We got a teacup fucking handle. So basically, right here, this is fucking going down. This is the fucking mega R. Fuck off.
That's the optimal trade entry.
Fucking jump in the cup, dude.
Yeah.
That's the optimal trade entry.
Fucking Shannon gonna jump in the cup right now.
I still have OT. I was literally this template save as M7. Oh, that was an M7, but that's fine. I literally have ICT OT. I still have all this shit. This is a perfect 618 entry, guys. You take the 618 and you put your stop at the fucking just below the 79 and you fucking banged out a one standard deviation.
But that's beautiful though. That worked also.
No, so but this is the thing. Everything, and this is like I was sending J Bell some stuff like the last fucking week before I did my student stage. I was like grinding. Like I had some pretty fucking ridiculous like trade entries, and like they would have worked. But the problem is where you put your VIBs for ICT stuff is discretionary. And that's the problem with it. And that's why when I was like going through my student stage, I'm like, man, like, why am I fighting the data? Why am I trying to find these like fucking unicorns when the unicorns are there? It's all like everything is there.
You're gonna find dust in a barrel of gold bars.
Yeah. Oh, get this shit off here. Fucking delete this shit. Get the fuck out of here. That's funny. It says you just hit the X. I don't want no ICT shit. Yeah, I probably still have like. Yeah, you just hit the X. That I think that's a new feature. Like I think you used to have to go into the settings. So what are we? So we're at RDR Monday, True Long. Oh, 11:30, beautiful. I like nice quick days. Nice quick days. So 11:30, we're gonna do 02 to 01. 11:30. I say quick, but it is like an hour of my day, you know. 0304. And well,
Thing is, I was right. It's like the whole time I was trading the app the fucking right way. That's the crazy part.
Tell me how to shoot my bullets, bro.
Don't tell me. The gun moved your hand, dude. It was like a U-turn on the barrel. I kept shooting myself in the face.
I mean, I only pushed the trigger twice, but 4 bullets came out. Don't know what happened. Like a gun malfunction.
yeah, I probably don't do anything here. Yeah, runs to target 1.4. I just didn't like like when I was playing this. We get the rejection from this Vib, but like say we enter here, we're gonna have our stop here. Yeah, but like we're clearly pricing up. We get the directional. Like this is just reclaiming. Like so to me, this isn't saying pricing down. This is just like yeah, but like I just don't care about 3R. Like I want it to come down here and like reject a bunch of times, and then like now I'm taking the trade. I guess I that probably wouldn't have tagged me in, and I wouldn't put my stop here because the median time isn't over. It would have to be here. Yeah, so I'm just
Definitely would have taken the again. Just like you showed me before, I got a better entry on my SAR, and that's something I don't examine that way. I always like want to be closer to the turn.
and yeah, like this fucking just blows up immaculately. But I just don't think I enter here. It's too. There's no. And I actually, yeah, no, I definitely don't enter here because I also don't like how. So like, it comes down, so it takes the Vibs. It tries to come up again. It doesn't. So like, I would have.
Also know that, like, you have the open magnetic, though. So it's not unreasonable to expect price to go there.
No, 100%. But it's just like. So once we're here, so we close.
Fucking Bill knows, dude. I'd have a limit order on the magnetic.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't. And 1.4. So like yeah, like okay. So let's say you have it on the Vib. Where are you putting your stop? Probably below the DRC cluster.
Yeah, I would have put it below the DRC. I think the first cluster, I'm afraid that's
Well, what's the
as
stop
you
below
come
the
back
second
and
cluster? What's the stop? What's the R below the second cluster?
No, he just means just this DR. Yeah, yeah, he means below the DRC. But it's still like for like so like I'm at a point where like I want five. Yeah, so then all your argument has to be like all you have to figure out if this is what you want to do is how many times do you get 8R versus lose and take a second bullet? And
I take two bullets with it.
exactly.
It's an error
How
constantly.
exact exactly. So how many times have you guys seen me take 2 trades? We've done almost a month worth of data. I've no 2 trades. I did forget.
But you also go sessions without trading. I would feel naked without clothing.
And man,
They're like
I used to be the same.
they're like my boots.
Trust me. But like I just want the result. Like I
Yeah, no, I see the freedom in it. I mean, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm listening. That's why I'm engaging with this because I do see the genius in it. I see the freedom. I see the lack of stress. I see the few trades. Like I have my trade plan. I was taking 20 trades a day. I'm taking 40 trades a day in the very beginning, easily. But
Dude, I
I
think when I
wasn't.
was trading ICT, I took 100 trades a day at one point. I was like, what
Yeah,
the
well,
fuck?
yeah, but I see the stupid thing about saying that with ICT though is ICT isn't a scalper. Like he's teaching like like almost swing trades. So like if you're taking 100 trades a day, like you are
There's prop work.
yeah, like you're
you're scalping. You're either scalping or you're
like trust me, I can show you some scalpers that make a lot of fucking money and
yeah. You can make millions scalping.
but it's I just don't want the stress. Like scalping, yeah, exactly. Like scalping to
Very
me,
aggressive.
well, it's not even aggressive. Like you just have to be paying so much attention,
Yeah, it's very tedious.
and it
It's
It's not
exhausting.
worth it.
well, it is worth it if you're good. Like
No,
I've shown J Bell,
if you have the focus, it's worth it.
but
Yes.
even if you like, it's just like anything in life, right? Like once you master it, it's not. It doesn't.
It's a lot of unnecessary work.
But
But it pays.
but it isn't. Like if you put in, it just depends.
It's a ton of mental capital.
Right, but once you get, it's just like anything. Once you get to a certain point, it doesn't require that mental capital, right? Like with anything in life, once you become super proficient in something, it doesn't take that drain on you anymore. It becomes natural. The problem is getting to that point with scalping and not losing your bankroll doing it is incredibly difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, like even after doing it for many years, you go home tired. You go home, because the level of focus that it requires to get all of those little setups it's not casual. Even when you're proficient at it, it still requires an intense level of focus. You're watching every price and price action. And this is before they had, this is when black boxes were a lot more inefficient. Like they were more for stocks than they were for in the futures. And you know, when I started doing it, it was like that was I was actually there when they put the TT on the trading floor. When they actually set up the screens and all the traders were laughing and saying, "Oh, that's not the real market. This is the real market down here." And none of those guys are there anymore, except for the option guys. Even them. But yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying though. Like, look, yes, it does get easier, but it's not a it's still type of trading, at least the way I was, that is like building toward a heart attack.
Yeah. It's like so like my argument would be like if you ever go look up like Dave Teaches FX, like the dude's a fucking god at scalping, dude. And you can watch when he's scalping, he's not stressed about it. Like he does it live. He's fucking unreal and he teach like but it's
Relax.
oh man, he's super relaxed. Like his lives, dude, he's just like but he's also like I don't know, he's fucking wild. Like yeah. But he's also like super like energetic. Like he's like 1 in a million, man. But he's really good at what he does. And there was a long time where I wanted to learn like how he does what he does. Even like recently, I started like wavering from DR, but it's like I don't I don't want like he trades the 15-second chart, and I don't want like I'm trying to make this so that I can be profitable, extremely profitable, and spend less. Like I want less time. Like I don't want to be on the charts all day every day. Fuck that.
No,
Uh,
it's definitely a lot of work. I agree. That resonates with me too because even though I love it, I'm like a chart junkie. I love watching price action.
oh, me too.
I have a lot on one direction or the other.
But my problem, like, so the reason I want to spend less time is because I do love it. But the problem is I overanalyze and I think I understand what's going on, and I lose trades. Sometimes I win trades, but a lot of times I lose trades, and I'm tired of like the psychological effects of like thinking I'm right when I'm wrong, and then like fighting with myself. So I'm just over it. Okay, so 425. So we didn't get confirmation, so we're just waiting. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, nothing here. Day's over. Cool, ran the target. Don't give a fuck.
Wait, was that a wick confirmation?
Yeah, it was a wick confirmation.
You don't trade wick confirmation.
Not unless it, like I see a reason to. So like Tuesday ODR short, the retracement time is 5:20. So like right here, like uh, I guess you could argue that
Well, can you just map it out just to see what it would be, or is that counterproductive for you?
no, that's fine. So like let's go back here. So 420, we go here.
I know it's macro, see.
No, that's fine. So 4 o'clock true short. So 0 to 0 1. What did I say? 520. 520. So here, and then we would say 0 to 0 3, but we already have that, so we'll just go like this. 0 4 to 0 5, and then 7 to 1. And this is everything we're looking at here. So we're expecting like a true confirmation by 4:30, so we don't get that, obviously. So then we have to switch our data. Now this is saying 0 1 to 0 1, which is here, and then it's saying 0 2 to 0 5. 0 2. We can actually just get rid of this to 0 5, and 0 6 to 1, and 6:25 would actually be our time. And then I would need a confirmation by 4:45. So there's not like I'm just done for the day here. This is where I'd be done. Because we didn't get the actual confirmation, and I don't see anything here. Okay. So let's just pretend that we're like, okay, we think it's a true day, and 4:45 would be the drop off that M7 says. We're taking this target. Like I already know that this next candle, we're fucked. So
Because I would have leaned on those 2 bib, the DRC, the 3 bib, and the DRC.
yeah,
I would put my stop below above the cluster there, and got wicked right there.
yeah, and then it goes up more. So like, where do you take the re-entry? right? So I don't have my actual confirmation. I'm done for the day. Don't care. This, so, and there's, okay, so you can even make the other argument. So a lot of people would just stay on here and they'd be looking for a reason to re-enter. Where are you re-entering and why? There's no confirmation. So you're like, our confirmation's at 6:15. So what are you trading here? You're trading fucking ghosts and fucking, like, I don't know what you're trading. This meets the 50% of a fucking ICT retracement. No, it doesn't. It's the 0.7. So, like, yeah, I don't know. What are you trading here? Well, you're saying you're that. Yeah, but for what? There's no confirmation. Like, what are you? You're trading a wick confirmation at 5:20 in the morning. Get out of here. Have fun. I'm cutting grass. You go trade your 5:15 no confirmation garbage. So we would be in here because our wick confirmation. But let's just mark this up. But that's what I mean. So like I'm just like I just don't care anymore. It's like, again, here's an example of it worked out. But how many times has it not worked out? How many times have I been like, oh, everybody loses money there?
And I'm already down in ARC by the time that thing happens.
Yeah. So now you're taking this as assuming that it's doing this when in reality there's nothing here indicating that we're confirming as a down. So like this could come take the ADR highs, right? Like who knows? I don't know. I'm not pretending to assume I know what the algo wants to do. I do know that algo wants to fuck everybody, so that's way more likely to me.
The interesting thing about this is the whole time is about like when you're listening to ICT, it's about bias and narrative, bias and narrative, bias and narrative. So you come to DR and you get rid of the compulsion for having a narrative and specifically told not to have a bias,
Yeah.
Certain things can bias you, right? Models may, and turnaround Thursdays may, like certain things may give you
Yeah.
momentary bias. But being freed from having to know that is really.
Yeah, I don't care about any bias. The bias to me is, do I see a rejection from a key level? I don't care.
Am I executing my plan?
Yeah, exactly. So obviously we had the wick confirmation, we had a directional imbalance. So we would open here, our stop would be above this cluster. And then our target is 1.6. Well, yeah, we're also 11. But like where else? Like, you want me to put my stop up here?
No, I don't.
And as soon as this opens,
Probably would have gone to the next DRC.
I'm already break even. So now, like, if this runs the target, bang, 15R done. Game over. I win the lottery. Yeah, like you just traded all this fucking garbage. You might have got this trade if you were fucking like lucky, but you're definitely like either down R, barely break even. You
And by the time that trade comes around, I'll be like, I'll be remembering the pain from trying to be short up there and
you're
not want to take that short.
like, here, let's mark this up because I know how people think, man. Okay, so let's say you trade this. Your stop was up here because you're like, fuck, this could still come up here. There's a huge cluster here. This is protected. We are bulletproof here. Like, if it comes up here, we still got the setup. And let's pretend your target was here. I don't even know what the target was for this day. You're gonna trail this. When this breaks below, you've got the VIBs here. You're gonna be like, hey, my stop's right here. It's two ticks above both these VIBs. Boom, you're out. You have like a 0.8R on this trade. Get out of here. I've been fucking sleeping. I had a nap. Then I came back. I took one trade. I made 15R. Real real time. Real time.
Dude, that dip on the confirmation thing is amazing.
Yeah, but the only reason I even saw this is because I did 500 back tests of only CL every so this back test that I did, this one here, this was a crazy back test. Or it's 450. I don't know why I keep saying 500. May as well have been 500. It was over 40 hours. This specific test, I basically every single so the requirements for this were at the end of the it was either the mode or the median. Every day, if there was a confirmation, you took the trade. You took, but I still played it candle by candle for every trade, just to be like, okay, what could I do different? And I just started to see things, man. It was like, but like, man, that back test was brutal, and I was happy with the result. I was like, it was like, what was it, like 400R or something? Like it was ridiculous.
How many months in that?
12 months. It was all of 2023 and January of 2024. I think the only thing I didn't do was 2 weeks of Christmas because I'm like, yeah, I just take Christmas off because I saw the results. I'm like, oh, I'm taking Christmas off for sure. I'm like, man, it takes so long to propagate. Yeah, 440R. I'm like, oh, this is great. And then before, we had access to the equity curve. I was like, what would this result be? I'm like, yo, M7, hook me up. I want to see the, because I was like, in my head, I'm like, this is gonna be a baller result. You're gonna fucking love it. And he literally, like, I could show you the message. He's like, this is shit. I'm like, and then when I saw like the 600K, I was just like, I have 440R. How do I have 600K? I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And then I just started analyzing the data, and I'm like, it's just because I had so many consecutive losses. I'm like, you're right. This is shit. I'm like, I spent every day trading ODR and RDR every day, just executing. Because like the original plan with this was the same thing. It was just a mechanical setup that I come in every day, just execute if it's a true day. Execute. And I'm exiting on the mode. Yeah, it was the mode drop off. Wherever the mode drop off was, I was just executing every day. It was a true confirmation. And yeah, that just
When you say mode drop off, what does that mean?
here. So like
The
I
highest node.
yeah, so like these two are like identical. They're 17 and 19. So at the close of the 11:10 candle, I would be just entering a trade.
Oh, it's like monkey in a way.
That's right. But I was forcing it every day. Enter the trade, enter the trade, enter the trade, enter the trade. And the end result is 400R. Sounds fucking unreal. And it is still actually unreal. Like, so like you could mechanically enter and turn 10K into 400K. But it really isn't that extravagant. Like because you have to think about the time investment, right? Like I'm showing up every single day for forever. Yeah, so it's not missing a single step, not missing a single day, and just executing.
COVID, you didn't get sick, like nothing.
Yeah. So this is also best case scenario. This is assuming that you make every day, you don't have extra consecutive losses to count because you missed a day. Like, so it's just not good. It's,
Let me ask you this now. Do you tag any of this? It's like when you did those 450 back tests.
Mhm.
Did you have any tags that you collected on that? Because
No, because it was one.
Probably 80 though.
It was
If you're updating lens like once a quarter, I think that's sufficient for
no. I was doing it. That was still week to week, but it was really easy because it was 100% mechanical. It was what's the mode drop off? You're entering with a stop. I think it was below the AMR or like a smart stop, like whatever. And I was taking 2 trades every session. Um, so if the mode drop off didn't work, oh, and this is also why I don't care about retirement setups. So if the mode setup failed, you were looking for a second reason to enter a trade, and taking all retirement setups if that was like all that was left before median time drop off or something. I have all the rules written down somewhere. And I just came to the conclusion that retirement setups just weren't worth it. I'm like, if I took every retirement setup, like, I'm not really up near like the time investment it took to wait for that setup. And I spent the entire year watching everything. So like to me, it just made sense. So like
Your tags, did you keep tags at all, or tags or confluences? I mean, did you keep any records of anything, or you just did the exactly as you're showing us?
yeah, but it's exactly as I'm showing you, except I had like the rules like in a text, and then all of like you could go back and look. Like I've got screenshots of everything. Like this, I'm not screenshotting anymore because I know exactly what I'm doing now. Um, but there were screenshots of like you could go look at every single trade for 450 trades, and you could be like, oh, this is why he took the trade right here. I used to like put way more details, but look at this. Let's equity curve this shit. Start with 10,000. You start with 1%. Way smoother. And this is, I'm only in March. So let's do 3% because that's what I'm going to be risking. Let's just see where we end up for the year or right now. What do you do? What do you do?
There's something very compelling about this. And when you call magnetics, what does that mean? Is that the dips that form, or is it something? Does that mean something different than I'm thinking?
No, magnetics are like, uh,
Open.
magnetic is just like, this is a magnetic volume imbalance and special. Oh, no, no special. Just, it's basically something that's created and then like so like here, so this created a trampoline, so this is like a magnetic rejection, and this is still an, I would consider this a closed vib, but based on how price is, um it hasn't had the third body close, so it's still like semi-magnetic to me. um yeah, so all magnetic means is like a recent, yeah, exactly.
Man, I'd love to see you do more of this. I really feel like I've learned a lot, and I feel like I've definitely kind of captured the essence of it. But I think I need some more examples of this. Do you do more sessions like this, or?
You betcha, buddy. Ask J Bill. I've spent a lot of time live sessions. Lots of time. I enjoy it because it lets people see like other perspectives, but it also shows like how real I am with backtesting, right? Like it's like man, I can't tell you how many people. So like as an example, that one trade where right here that you guys were like, a lot of people would just play this out and they'd be like, oh, well, I would just enter right here.
Nah, that's all that bullshit.
I
You gotta
know.
see the candle before you make the decision. It's not.
Exactly. So like the only candle that I ever see is like unless like I accidentally don't hit pause or whatever. But even then, you guys saw, like, I'm like, okay, I know that the price goes this way, but there's a directional imbalance. I would take this trade, and I'm gonna, like, I already know that I'm gonna lose the trade. So like I'm fine with that. Like I can make the mental acceptance that like I already know I'm losing this trade. The only candle that I ever see is this, because like sometimes I just don't want to draw out all these, like, this stuff. So like, but it's still like, you already saw an example where I'm like, okay, I would have taken this trade and lost. And it's the same thing. It's like, I don't care that this just ran like this far. This is the setup that like I would take in this situation.
Well, you've already said you'd take the dibs. And the interesting thing about the dibs is that you see it open and immediately you're marketing in. Is that how you would play that?
Yeah, so like I would have so as soon as I see this wick happen, I would immediately have my um I'd already be thinking, I'm like, okay, where do I want my stop if um the Viv happens? Because I already inherently know that this is potentially a true day, and I know that the next candle, if a Viv happens, based on my testing, I know that it could be a good trade. So I'm gonna have my trade panel open, and what I would personally do is I would have different areas marked up with how do you do, I keep meaning to learn how to do this actually. You can like do call outs, and you can have this set as like the price it's on.
Oh, it's the price. It's not that one. Go back to the thing. Price note.
Aha, there we go. So, man, how have I never been doing this? So like I would normally just, like, this is what I was doing before, is I would just take a text line and I would edit it and I'd be like text 79.34. So in my trade panel, I would basically have like this, and like say this came back here, I would have like this one marked up, like whatever. So like I'd have like 2 or 3 prices set there, and then I'd have my trade panel open with my risk percentage in. And as soon as I see this, this is the stop number I put in, and I just mark it execute. That's right. So it's accounting for everything. I just have to put the 79.34 in and execute. So yeah, I might get down here, or like what, like there might be some like minor slippage or whatever, but as soon as I see the directional imbalance, I'm already putting in 79.34, enter. Because that's the only way to do it. Like in MT5, like with CFDs, you could get trade assistance. So like you would have not a long and short tool. It would literally be like a thing that you could drag, and like I could have my risk percentage already in this like app, and I could literally just be like, okay, close here, I want my stop here, enter trade. And it was so much more convenient than this. I don't, does that work on Trading View? What? Magic Keys Trading View. Oh my god. Are you, is this real life? See, I didn't like Trading Keys because there was just way better apps for MT5. Yeah, way better.
But the way you're doing it now seems like you might as well give me, give me the chisel and the hammer.
Yeah, so I'll check it out.
I mean, that might not be the solution you want, but I'm just telling you.
Yeah, like, so like that's the only argument that I've ever had against trading in TradingView is it's just like it's not because it's like a web-based app, it's just not conducive to like outside technology, right? But if Magic Keys, I didn't know Magic Keys worked with Trading View, so if it does, then yeah, I'll just be switching to that. Like I, that's easy. This,
You could. There's a few videos on. You know more than me, but you could research it as to the appropriate solution for you.
um, but yeah, so
Yeah. So I mean, I gotta. I actually gotta go meet my brother now.
yeah, I got a dip too. I didn't realize we've been doing this for 3.5 hours.
Dude, this is awesome. I can't thank you enough. I've been looking for a solution to my madness, and I'm kind of going through it with Jay Bell and Matt and Nova and Chief and just like all that I go through, in terms of trying to find something that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
because the way I'm trading now, I mean, it's like I can make money for weeks, and then in a week I could lose what it takes me a week to make, and the levels of frustration, and just like I can be calm and detached and be patient with trades, and then I can come into a period where I'm like there's a physical change in my body when I'm trading. Like I can't calm down, I can't relax, and it's like I need to trade something like this, because what in this fashion, and just
So,
because it's more conducive to me being healthy as a trader
so
and
look,
getting my result.
look at these results. So this is so like it's not like so. I think this one was what was this? This was the 15.6. Why isn't that in here?
That was a banger trade.
Oh, it's right here. Yeah. So
I was thinking it wasn't even the best entry because it's such a huge fucking trade.
yeah. So but it's not like a one-off, right? Like so, there's like
Right.
6 trades here that are basically 10R, and then every other trade other than like 6 of them or like 8 of them are basically 5R. No, it's less than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 of them are less than 5R. I call 4.7 close enough to 5. And then the rest of them are like, look at how many break evens. Like the break evens are like ridiculous. And then
Yeah.
minus ones. Like who cares? So it's like a majority of my trades in this setup are 5R or better. And it's not like a one off. It's not like oh you just got lucky. It's like no, like this is just like the disciplined entry model that I'm following and it works.
Man, I'll tell you, I'm gonna get after this. I don't think I'm gonna even trade.
And that's part of my argument. Like I've traded a little bit, but like I haven't like since I walked away from all the other stuff, I haven't traded like I've done more study in DR, IDR than I have in any other thing that I've ever studied. And it's just because like the data just doesn't lie. like, like if you
What's crazy about it is he's been trumpeting that from the start. He doesn't say anything ever different. He's 1,000% consistent. When I'm talking about M7, but saying the same thing that you're saying. But somehow, like I watched a non-student stage, Ola's student stage, and I'm like, I'm not there. I'm not there. But I
mm-hmm.
see the simplicity of what you're doing, and I'm not there still. But because there are questions I have about certain judgments you make, and the way price is moving, that I think I could glean more understanding from just by watching you do it more. But
Mm-hmm.
this is like all of the hardship of trying to piece confluences, pro con, uh, you know, all of this madness, and then simplifying the appearance of your page with a three body filled with that all that shit resonates with me. I mean, I'm 54 years old. I know I don't sound it, but I'm an old guy, dude. It's like so much to process, and I have decades of trading experience that I'm trying to shed all of these
Yeah, it. I agree, man. There's so much noise out there, and there's so much like, and I thought the same. Like when I'm watching like Ola and Anand or Olia, I guess is how you say it, but whatever. Um, I felt the same. I'm like I saw how like good just time and price was, and I was just like, man, like how do like Olia's getting $100 a week, like, and like I no exactly, but it's like I I even if you started to understand how to attain it, to execute at that level every day, day after day, human error.
You can have some expectation too.
Yeah, exactly. So like,
Oh, I did it last month. Like, okay, I'm gonna expect $100 every month. Like 50, sure, I'll expect 50. You know what I mean? Half,
yeah,
fuck up half. But like even then, like it just could not be feasible.
yeah, like it's just I don't think the average person benefits from thinking that trading like that is beneficial long term. I just don't. Like I honestly don't. I don't think it's
These guys are special.
exactly.
This guy was, spec optimal operator. They're not.
It's
Look across the guy across the screen who's trained that way, get his mindset to the point where he can do that.
mm-hmm.
Anand, doesn't choose his own way.
Well, but people think that. I actually think Anand is more normal than most people think because you got to think about it. Like it took him till September to like really start being profitable, right?
But he never traded before now. He started decathlon.
Bro, man, I can't even tell you how much I wish I knew fucking nothing about trading before I came here.
That backdating is that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like if I could just be like, hey, delete everything you've ever learned and just do this. And like I wish I never saw like I wish I didn't know that this was like an order block or a breaker block. I wish I didn't understand like
Fair value gap.
yeah, yeah, exactly. We got this fair value gap that could be like so like yeah, this price well what's this ICT never talks about directional imbalances. Like I've never heard him fucking like
Inversion fair value gaps is the closest it comes to.
yeah. And like and he'd like this is like an ICT moment. He'd be like, "Yeah, guys, like we had this liquidity grab right here, so like we're going for this fair value gap up here. So like let's just go like this. We can put our stop down here, and we're gonna raid. We'll probably raid the ADR highs, guys. We'll fucking let's go. Like fuck off. Like don't get me wrong. I love like I
He's a genius.
that's
I
right.
love how he trades. But just for someone who's not on the inside to purely outside observation to develop the things that he's
Mm-hmm.
developed, it is. I have nothing, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know M7. So I've got nothing but love for the guy. But I can say that I studied him for many months and took an account and blew it up in less than a month.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't his fault. I just didn't do the work required to think that I could execute it properly. I mean, there are people out there that do trade this stuff.
Yeah, but even the people that do trade his stuff, man, they don't trade his stuff. They take a concept of something that he's explained and they add their own spin to it to make it profitable. Like nobody trades a Judas swing or a breaker block, or like literally any like you look at any like actual successful trader that can prove payouts that's consistent. Like like Casper SMC is an example. They none of them trade what he teaches. They trade a variation of what he teaches.
Right.
So it's like,
Such a misconception shit.
yeah, everything is discretionary, right? Like,
Yes, everything is. And you can see everything you can see things both ways. That's the part that is so troubling. You can see
Hey man, well I'll be around. I'll be here tomorrow. I'm probably not gonna trade ADR tomorrow because yeah, it's just not looking. Well, actually, let's look at ADR because we've added like another month of data. Let's see what it says.
Are you demo trading any of these sessions, or are you just doing the work?
No, we're just doing the work. I'm going to be live trading tomorrow,
Oh,
or not tomorrow.
yeah, you said
On
that.
yeah, yeah, on
Since
yeah, yeah. Well, tomorrow is well, I guess Monday, so in 2 days. Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah. So are you gonna be on tomorrow at any time?
Yeah, I'll be on. I gotta go look at. I'm looking at some properties sometime tomorrow, but we will be. Yeah, I'll be on. I'll be on for a few hours tomorrow.
You don't yeah you don't have to give me a time. I can put a shout in this chat here. So
Sounds good, man.
all right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, J Bell.
Yeah, no problem. Of course.
J Bell's the people's hero.
He is indeed.
He's the glue.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
You too.
All right. Catch you guys later.
Yeah. Peace.